Yeah, you just made it in time, Carl. Where are we? Just the right time. You almost didn't make it. Oh, I've got a couple of regulars. Fred, Zeblon, Fondle, and Dora, and Carl. Oh, and I forgot to mute there. Hey, no, no. Okay, I don't need that anymore. Now, I haven't got a lot to read tonight for the part 2 of the telescope. After the Newton's telescope one. I think that's... I got the right... I'll just double check. I don't know if I got the right one. Just didn't look right. Where is it? Stream topic, stream topic. Oh, okay. It might be that one. Yeah. Early reflectors. So the... Oh, okay. I see what I've done. So we did refracting telescopes. Now we're going to do no, we did. What are we doing now? Reflecting telescopes, not refracting. Okay. Early reflectors. I had a separate article to do with just Isaac Newton, which was confusing me. Well, we haven't got farmers tonight, so get it lined up for reading. Oh, that's too much. That might have to do. Yeah, the thing is I've got to have it big enough so I can read it, that's the only thing. If I do that, that's no good to me. Oh.
Wendell Hemingway.
What's
No,
this?
not Wendell Hemingway, Carl.
Oh, that's Hadley. I don't think that'll matter. I'll go back to that. Is this for the scientist?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get a chance to read that one. Okay,
No,
today's
that's okay.
scientist, British astronomer, is regarded as the founder of sidereal astronomy. He was also the finder of the planet Uranus and its moons and formulated a theory of stellar evolution. I don't know if your mum and dad are still on a farm, Fred.
Yeah,
Your mum and dad are still on a farm.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they are, from what you said in the past.
Yeah.
Paul, I've chucked I've chucked
An
an answer
answer
in
in
our
chat.
in our internal one. Yes.
And yes, you are correct.
Now wait for the peanuts to catch up.
Yeah, they have.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
quick.
although I'm pretty certain I spelled it incorrectly, but there you go.
Let's have a look. Yeah, it's an E, not an A at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, you only get half a point, Alan.
Well, Jesus, Terry, you'd only get 1/10 points for the things you do.
I know, I try to
then.
type them out so quick. I don't care about the spelling, I just want to get the word out.
Yeah.
By the time I figure out the spelling, everyone else has typed the answer and you've gone on to the next question.
Yes, it is William Herschel. That is correct.
One of the few British astronomers I could actually name.
Ah.
It's actually German born.
Yeah, I oh, sorry, not really wording very well today.
Oh,
I
you're,
think
you're definitely not reading this.
I kind of figured that out back when I very first heard of him, because funny name.
Mm.
Although, of course, at that period there were a lot of continental Europeans coming over to the UK to do science and stuff, weren't there?
You'd have a lot of last names like that over there, Alan, wouldn't you? Where people would look at the last name and say, well, that doesn't sound like it's a British name.
What happens is eventually they get anglicised.
Oh, okay. Well, Blue found us, but I'm not sure where Sheepy is. I think he disappeared. Yeah, he's not listed as online either, so he might be AWOL. I wonder if Blue would have got the answer. Well, I may as well get this ready. I'll share it in here for you guys. Now I'm going to have a go at reading most of this myself, I think.
Well, I can read some of it for you if you want, Terry.
Okay, I'll go as far as I can get till my eyes start to water. And it's not as if the words aren't big enough. It's just the just reading it in general.
Is it all the big words, Terry?
Oh shit! They got more than one syllable. Hey, you picking on me, my flat Earth brain? Okay, early reflectors. Here we go. Well into the 18th century, astronomers mainly used long refracting telescopes, designed around a meticulously shaped glass lens. However, other telescope designs offered a way to avoid some of the defects that could not be avoided in refractor lenses. In 1668, Isaac Newton devised a reflecting telescope. Instead of lenses, he used a single curved main mirror together with a smaller flat mirror. In the next century, huge instruments descended from Newton's designs turned out to be especially useful for studying very faint objects, such as the dim patches of light known as nebula. Nebulae or nebula? I don't know. The
Nebulae.
Hey?
Nebulae.
Yeah, nebulae, yeah. The study, the studies that the new and bigger tools made possible led to fundamental changes in our understanding of the universe. Dun dun dun. Okay. Oh. There. I contrived here too a perspective by reflections, reflexions. Okay. Scholars knew that you could get magnification using a variety of combinations of lenses and mirrors. A number of scientists speculated on telescope that used mirrors fueled by an increasingly refined theoretical study of optics. One landmark was the dioptric of René Descartes, appended to his discourse on method in 1637. Here Descartes addressed the problem of spherical aberration, a slight blurring of any image that was created by lens or mirror, curved like a segment of a sphere.
Yeah, because you see, any mirror that's shaped like the surface of a sphere is not going to focus light at a sharp focal point, especially if it's a significant portion of a sphere. So if it's only a little bit curved, it's not so bad. Like if it's only a tiny bit of the sphere, it's not so bad. But as you get bigger and bigger and get more of the sphere, the spherical aberration becomes more and more, and you get blurred images from it. To be truly focused at a focal point, you need to have a parabolic mirror, not a spherical mirror. But it's easy to grind spherical mirrors because all you need is a ball shape and some grinding powder, and you grind the mirror to the shape of the ball.
A Scottish mathematician, James Gregory, proposed a new design for a reflecting telescope in his 1663 book Optica Promota. Gregory's theoretical design featured a primary mirror with a parabolic curvature. It would reflect light to an elliptical secondary mirror, which reflected it back down through a hole in the primary to the astronomer's eye. The Gregorian design, along with the superficially similar Cassegrain design, named after an obscure 18th century Frenchman, would eventually become the predominant design for reflecting telescopes. But at the time these designs were proposed, opticians could not polish mirrors in curves that were not spherical. Some London opticians tried to produce reflecting telescopes, but failed. The most significant development came when Isaac Newton, after his groundbreaking research in light and optics, concluded that refracting telescopes would always be defective, for any lens would like a prism, disperse the colours of light in direct proportion to the refraction. The result was chromatic aberration. The image of a white star would always show a smear of colours, so Newton turned his attention to the design of a practical telescope which would use a mirror to collect starlight. Seeing, therefore, the improvement of telescopes of given length by refractions is desperate, I contrive heretofore a perspective by reflections, using instead of an object glass a concave metal. Newton, Optics 1704. How much more we got? Okay. I might be able to get away with just another couple more paragraphs.
I can read if you like, Terry.
Yeah, I'll just
Newton
rub.
prescribed his
Yeah.
Newton presented his diagram to England's Royal Society in January 1672, where it aroused great interest. He had succeeded in making a mirror with a spherical curvature, slightly less than, I'm not sure what that is.
That
it's not
means,
1
yeah.
inch. Yeah, inches in diameter. The mirror was made of a copper tin alloy to which Newton had added a bit of arsenic to make it easier to polish. It had a magnification of about 40. Above this primary mirror, Newton placed a small flat secondary mirror at a 45-degree angle to reflect the light into an eyepiece mounted in the side of the telescope tube. Although Newton's telescope stirred interest, it remained largely a curiosity. Others tried but failed to grind mirrors of regular curvature. Adding to the problem, the metal mirror tarnished and had to be repolished every few months, which could affect the curvature. And although Newton was convinced his design was superior to a refractor, the small size of his instrument concealed the defects caused by its, scroll up, by its spherical curvature. Some further experimentation was done with reflection telescopes, but little progress was made until the 18th century. Okay, refinement of the early refracting telescope. John Hadley was born near London. He showed a talent for inventiveness from an early age and became a Fellow of the Royal Society at the age of 35 in 1717. Around this time, with help from his two brothers, he began to experiment with the grinding and polishing of metal. He used speculum, a combination of bronze and silver used for mirrors since ancient times. By 1721, he had succeeded in making a 6-inch diameter Newtonian telescope with a focal length of 62 inches. Hadley managed to polish his metal mirror so that it had an approximately parabolic shape, avoiding the distortion in previous telescopes with spherical curves. Like Newton, Hadley first showed off his telescope at a meeting of the Royal Society. Records from the meeting say that it was powerful enough to enlarge an object near 200 times.
Wrong way, sorry.
That's pretty good going, isn't it?
Yeah, 200
Yeah.
times. That's pretty good. From 40.
Yeah. Just as important as the telescope's mirror was its mounting, telescopes have to track objects across the sky as the Earth turns. To achieve this, Hadley developed what is now called an altitude azimuth mount, an alt-azimuth mount. The altitude axis lay parallel to the horizon and the azimuth axis pointed perpendicularly. With an alt-az mount, the astronomer had to move the telescope along two axes simultaneously to keep an object in view. But this was compensated by its relatively compact size. Hadley's telescope was tested by two English astronomers in 1722 by observing Saturn. They saw 4 of the planet's satellites, the largest in transit across the face of the planet, and the divisions in Saturn's rings. Although they judged its images not as bright as those in Huygens' 123-foot aerial telescope, Hadley's design was far easier to use. Before he died in 1744, Hadley continued to experiment with different ways of polishing mirrors for telescopes. No less important, he worked on ways to test the results, for you cannot polish a curve better than you can measure it. Okay, the Herschel's giant reflectors. It was a mighty bewilderment of slanted masts, spars and ladders and ropes, from the midst of which a vast tube lifted, its mighty muzzle defiantly to the sky. Oliver Wendell Holmes. I must have been describing the commissioning of a telescope. William Herschel, a musician who moved from Hanover to England and turned to astronomy, directed his first efforts toward building refracting telescopes, but the lengthy tubes annoyed him. He made one as long as 30 feet, and it turned his attention to mirrors. By the late 1770s, Herschel had built several reflectors. His most successful one had a 6-inch mirror and was 7 feet long. He used this telescope to compile the first substantial catalogue of double stars and in 1781 to discover the planet Uranus. This discovery brought Herschel royal recognition and an annual salary of £200, I would say it is.
Yeah,
I would guess
which allowed him to practice astronomy full time.
Hey, he was a rich man.
£200 was a very, very good salary back then.
Yeah. I think that's artist rendition. I don't think that's actual Polaroids.
I don't think so.
Okay. Even though the camera was getting close.
Yeah. Encouraged by his success, Herschel spent the next several years perfecting an even bigger telescope. It featured a mirror nearly 19 inches in diameter, encased in a tube 20 feet long on an alt-azimuth mount. Like other early telescope mirrors, it was made of metal, mostly copper and tin, and tarnished quickly, so it had to be polished often. The base of the telescope could be opened and the mirror easily removed. Another mirror was always on hand to use while the first was being polished. William Herschel did his observations with the assistance of his sister Caroline. The telescope's eyepiece was mounted at the top of the tube, so Herschel observed from a platform that could be used or lowered as needed. Caroline sat inside the house nearby at a window. When William signalled by pulling a string, she would open the window and record her brother's observations as he called them down to her. Observing was arduous. Herschel went out whenever possible, even in bitter cold. One night, while using an earlier telescope, his ink froze in its bottle, and his best mirror cracked in 2 pieces.
Oh. Herschel?
It can get cold enough to freeze the brass off, I will say.
I was going to say, Herschel, I think we have a problem.
Yeah. Observing from the high perch was also hazardous. Caroline recorded that she and her brother were involved in a pretty long list of accidents, which were proving nearly fatal to my brother as well as myself.
Oh.
Yeah. In 1783, using the 20-foot reflector, Herschel began to search the night skies for the dim patches of light in the skies called nebulae. By 1784, he reported that his telescope could resolve individual stars in nebulae previously identified by the French astronomer Charles Messier, and that he had also found hundreds of new nebulae. Herschel has discovered 1,500 universes. How many more he may find, who can conjecture? Yeah. Herschel's 20-foot telescope was the best of his instruments. In 1785, he began to design the one twice as large, which could collect 4 times as much light. He began using his 40-foot telescope in the fall of 1789 and quickly found 2 more satellites of Saturn, Mimas and Enceladus. However, the long telescope tube tended to bend, while the frequent need to repolish the main mirror limited its usefulness. Herschel used his cumbersome giant only occasionally, preferring the more manageable 20-foot instrument. As he noted, to look through one larger than required is loss of time, which in a fine night an astronomer has not to spare.
Yeah, I'll read this last bit. Herschel made his last observation with the 40-foot telescope in 1815. His journal notes, Saturn was very bright and considerably well defined. The mirror is extremely tarnished. Such tarnishing was one of the several severe limitations for large reflectors, and over the next several decades their popularity declined. Advances in optical design and glassmaking were revitalizing the refracting telescope as a tool for research. There we go. Yeah, a lot of trial and error, especially with the optics side of things, getting the mirrors right, and
Yep.
Combination of technologies all in one. And the azimuth. What was it? Equal thing. Yeah, that one. That word.
What are you trying to say, Terry?
The equatorial azimuth. Yeah.
You mean the altitude azimuthal mount?
Yeah, that one.
The alt azimuth.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. Of course, if he'd have had any sense, he'd have tipped it over to match the latitude of where it was, and only had to swing it in one direction.
I did have another extract. It's not as long. It's not as long. But I think this one's more to do just with Newton. That one there, if you can see it out there. I get the right. Not seeing it as good. Okay, I can't fix that. That's probably why I wasn't going to use it.
So do you understand what chromatic aberration is, Terry?
Isn't it when they, when I've seen the flurfers try to show images of stars and it's all twinkly and blurry and all colours all in it?
It's the colours. See, as light passes through different mediums, like as the light enters the glass, it refracts. That's how lenses work. It bends the light. But the problem is that it bends blue light more than it bends red light. And so you get the rainbow effect as the light passes through the lens. It separates the colours out. And so at the edges of bright objects, you see coloured fringes. But the thing is, with mirrors, blue light bounces at the same angle that red light bounces at. They all bounce at the same angle. So you don't get that chromatic aberration.
They have kind of solved that chromatic aberration problem. Not totally, but very well.
By using multiple lenses, yeah.
And also really esoteric types of glass. Oh, and also using molded rather than ground. The lenses are still polished at the end, but they mold the glass first to get the base shape, so that they can have asymmetrical lenses.
Yeah.
They have a proper name which escapes me right this second, unfortunately. When did they start making coated lenses? At least by the middle of the 20th century. But they tended to be on the good stuff.
Yeah, coating's not for chromatic aberration. Coating's for minimizing reflections and enhancing transmission of light.
Yep. It does make a significant improvement in image quality.
Yeah.
I'll have to Google a few of those images and when we finish here, just so I can see those few things. I didn't know what to Google for the images until I finished reading it. Okay,
and of course, the mirrors that they use in telescopes are different than the mirrors you and I use in our bathrooms too, because the mirrors we use in our bathrooms are what they call back silvered, where the reflective coating is on the back of the glass to protect it. So, but for telescopes, the reflective surface is on the front of the glass. They're what they call front silvered mirrors, so that the light doesn't have to pass, because they don't want the light to pass through the glass, because otherwise you get the refraction problems again.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
they're called sometimes called first surface mirrors. And I use a first surface mirror in the cavities for that reason.
Yeah.
I don't want the laser passing through the glass. I want it reflecting off the reflective surface, not.
Yep.
Because if it goes through the damn glass, it's going to refract.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same is true of the mirror in SLR cameras.
Yep.
Which is why you should never touch them, because that's one of the few ways of buggering them up.
I broke a car's side mirror once, and I noticed the mirror was actually double-sided. I wonder if that was the case, or it was two bits of glass joined together. I don't know.
What do you mean it was double-sided?
You turned it around, and it was actually a mirror on both sides, or it was mirrored.
Oh, okay.
It was mirrored both sides, but it didn't look like it was double glazed that I can remember.
Well, even a first surface mirror, though, I mean, you've got to pay attention to which direction you've got the thing facing. It acts like a mirror both ways.
Yeah. Usually they put a protective coating over it to stop it from oxidizing. Yeah.
Yeah. But you can tell immediately. Just take anything and touch the surface of the mirror. And if there's no gap between say you use a pencil point, no gap between the point and the reflection, then you're on the first surface side.
Right.
Yeah. But if it goes through the glass, it'll look like there's a gap in there.
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, I get you. Yes, Death. Well, it was a used one, so.
You'll find them called dental mirrors too, because that's what a dentist uses, is a first surface mirror.
Yeah.
Yep.
In its simplest form, it's just a really highly polished piece of metal.
Okay, how Newton's telescope changed the world? We're doing a mirror now, are we, Bake Cake? We're going to have mirror jokes now.
Yeah.
Where's this start off? Sir Isaac Newton didn't use his telescope to find any new things in the universe, but he did use it to radically transform how we view the world we live in and the universe as a whole. Sir Isaac Newton is often considered the greatest astronomer and mathematician to ever live. There's a lot of validity to his claim. This article looks at his famous reflector telescope and describes some of its discoveries. A reflector telescope is one that uses a mirror rather than lenses to bend light and magnify images. Reflector telescopes, because they are easy to make and can be made in sizes much larger than refractors, are an invention that changed astronomy and our understanding of the universe. The largest refractor telescopes in the world, is 40 inches in diameter, and reflector telescopes dwarf this in comparison. There are currently several reflector telescopes that are over 400 inches in diameter. Why a reflector is better than a refractor? If you are familiar with a prism or a rainbow, you can understand why reflectors are superior to refractors. When light passes through the glass, the different bands or colours pass through at different angles, and this causes aberrations or problems in the images. This is called chromatic aberration, and it gives us distorted views of what we see through a lens. In the time of Newton, glass... Guess who it is? Told you that he late comer. He's got to get a late note from his mum now. Where was I up to?
Glass making and lens making was very primitive, and the problems of chromatic aberration were not yet overcome. Today, we can make lenses that have almost no chromatic aberration, but we can't make them very large. When a lens gets to be really large, it gets very heavy, and its own weight will distort the lens and ruin the image.
Yeah, that sounds logical. Yeah. Oops. I'll just press that so it makes it easier to...
That's one of the problems they have even with big reflectors, because they use a glass as the base of the mirror, like to form the shape of the mirror, and then they front silver it. But the bigger they get, of course, the heavier it gets, and its own weight can distort it. Yeah. Okay, Newton's telescope solved these problems. A mirror doesn't pass light through it. It simply bounces all the light off the surface. There is no chromatic aberration at all. And because you only need to bounce light off the surface, you can place the whole mirror on a supporting structure or base, which takes a lot of the weight off the mirror. This way you can build much larger mirrors without any distortion. It is commonly thought that Newton invented the first reflector telescope, but it isn't true. Credit for making the first reflector goes to an Italian monk, physicist and astronomer named Niccolo Zucchi. I wonder whether he liked zucchinis. He published a book in optics in the 1650s, and it is his book, or this book, that inspired Sir Isaac Newton to build his own telescope. Zucchi, I keep wanting to say zucchini, Zucchi created his first reflector around 1616, while Newton completed his first and famous telescope in 1670. Wow, that's a fair bit earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
But while Zucchi did make some new discoveries with his telescope, it didn't work well and was difficult to make and use. It was Newton's telescope that worked really well, and that brought the art and science of reflectors into the world of science.
Zucchi's sister Sue is much better known than he is.
where am I? Where are we up to? The real genius of Newton's telescope. All that stuff is remarkable, but there is something much more important in Newton's astronomy and his telescope. He didn't after all discover moves around Jupiter like Galileo did, or plot the return of a comet like Halley did, but what he did was tie in mechanics, astronomy, and our understanding
Mathematics.
of... What did I miss out on? Oh, sorry.
You said mechanics instead of
Oh,
mathematics.
mathematics, astronomy, and our understanding of the universe using his telescope and his theory of universal gravitation. He proved mathematically that gravitation was a two-way operation, and that while the Earth pulled on a falling apple, so the apple too pulled on the Earth. This was clearly seen, calculated psychology articles, and confirmed in the motions of heavenly bodies, which was refined and made possible by the new science of reflector telescopes, which we can credit to Newton. Oh, well, we're one all now because you made a grammatical error word thing before too, Paul. So, Sir Isaac and his telescope carried on with the work of Copernicus and Galileo by furthering our understanding of the universe we live in, and helping us to realize there are laws that govern the whole of the universe. And this rule holds true for falling apples and for planets revolving around the stars. Okay, that's it. I think that's the actual telescope that still survives today. It's in the Royal Society, London. Sometimes it travels the world as an exhibit. Yeah, it didn't end up in a garage sale or anything anyway. Well, I suppose for places like that, you have those royal places, royal societies. They keep their things.
Oh yeah, I'd love to explore the back room out there.
yeah, we'd have a field day, wouldn't we?
Man,
All the
yeah.
stuff they'd have on the shelves. There we go. Where's your late note, Sheepy?
Hello.
Hey.
I was talking with GB. I was trying to get him set up with a Zoom profile picture and display name and everything. And then we went to try and join, and he doesn't have access to the special place. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he probably doesn't have the special key.
Yeah. So I thought
we know John Watson out there in the peanut gallery. He's naked. What are you doing naked, running around naked out there, John?
Yeah, I was going to say, Terry, sort it out.
Yeah, I'm getting onto it. Hey, John. Where is he at the moment? He's not around at the moment, Sheepy.
he was just saying if you could. I don't know. I just joined in to see if you could give him the permissions. He's all set to go.
Yeah, well, I have pre-warned him that this is a show, not so much just because he has DM'd me a few things, and I said no, we don't discuss a lot of topics and things on this stream unless it's relevant to other things we talk about. What role has he got? Well, if he he's got the standard role, so he can still get into the voice chat in there, and he has DM'd me. Do you want me to have a profile picture? Did you tell him that? Did you, Sheepy?
He didn't believe me.
That's the prerequisite. You're not allowed to come on unless you got a profile pic.
He said last time it didn't matter, and I said, well, you get one shot. You get one.
One shot? I thought I was a bit more lenient. You at least get a couple.
2021 is new. It's a new time, Terry. It's a new time. One shot. You get about 3 shots, don't you? Three mulligans.
There you go. I just typed him a reply. There we go. Alright.
Death, don't talk it up, or it'll be sooner than you'd like.
Only abuse if he plays Lindsay.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah, mute yourself in Discord, and then I'll give you the key to the special place. Is it in my other pocket? Is it? Wait a minute, I might have left it on the cupboard. As long as I didn't lock myself out again. No. Hang in there. Patience, my dear friend. I'm an old bloke. You can't expect me to do things at a pace that's something, whatever. There's probably a saying there somewhere. Well, actually, I'm not too bad with patience. I know some old people that I know of that are a little bit impatient. Okay, so if you scroll down in Discord, you'll see Oz Squad Special Place, and in the Special Place, go through there. And when you get the link through to Zoom, I'll let you in here, and you just mute and deafen yourself in Discord. So I'll speak to you when you get in here. Right. I think we should have Lindsay as a guest on the panel. Death, you want to know, Death? He doesn't want a Mickey Mouse channel like mine, or he doesn't want anything to do with a Mickey Mouse channel like mine. So I don't know what he means by Mickey Mouse channel, like with Conspiracy Cats or Blue, or you know the bigger channels. Are they Mickey Mouse channels to him? I don't know.
I think Mickey Mouse means ones that might challenge his ideas.
Geez, it wouldn't take much to challenge his ideas.
Challenging to understand his ideas, Terry. I don't know about.
And fancy running in front of the young bloke through the ringer. Well, okay, he done well. Look what avatar he's got.
Yep.
Okay, I'll get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. So.
Can you hear me?
No, we hear you.
But you can't hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
What am I saying? Jeez. That was
you fell for it.
Oh.
Welcome, GB.
Hey.
If you want a beer, leave the money on the fridge.
So likely what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute myself. I don't, not only that I wanna, I don't wanna be that guy that's listening on YouTube, but I might wanna, like, if something catches my ear, I might wanna talk about it, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
So that's I'm gonna mute myself for now. But if I happen to hear something, I may want to talk about it. I'll get riled up and not riled up. That's an overstatement, but you know what I mean. Like I'll go,
Yeah.
hey,
All good, brother.
let's talk about this. You know,
Don't
type thing.
overthink it.
Oh, that I'm the epitome of overthinking. But anyways,
But what we're going to deal with now is something, ideas
You'll
that
have
one.
You'll have trouble thinking about these ideas.
Exactly. If what you're about to hear doesn't make sense, then you're fine.
Yeah. Just start worrying if it makes any sort of sense at all.
Oh,
listen,
Yeah.
the conversations I had here was better than Debate Flat Earth the last time I was here, and I was a little bit under the influence and whatnot, but you know, like we had a great chat. Like you said in the Debate Flat Earth that, you know, it seemed like I didn't cause any trouble, so
Wow.
you know.
The night is young.
But
Yeah.
like you know, like it seemed like we had a great chat in that chat there, and I want to actually carry on this. So
Wow. You're in the right
Have
place.
have you experienced Lindsay before?
who?
good answer.
Oh, you're in
If
for a
you
treat.
have no idea what I'm talking about, you're in for a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did I hear you correctly? You said, have you experienced Lindsay before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lindsay's the name of the channel. I
Is
remember
that
my
that
first
lady
time.
that's on your photo? No, I did not experience her, and she looks quite odd. Actually, she looks
No,
like
no, that's
almost
not Lindsay.
like
That's
not.
Jerry.
That's not Lindsay.
That's Jerry.
Oh, okay.
He is a Lindsay virgin, isn't he?
Yeah. Lindsay.
Yeah.
Lindsay's a name of a YouTube channel and a
Wait.
person from New Zealand. And let's just say he offers entertainment.
I've got to prepare myself for Lindsay.
I wish I could.
When you say Lindsay, I think of my neighbor because her name is Lindsay, and
Well-
I go, what?
Well, this is the male
Yeah.
version. A male version,
There's
Lindsay.
Yeah. Sadly, he's
First
from New
played.
Zealand.
Yeah, I'm trying to, Blue.
Sadly.
Is your computer revolting, Terry?
It probably is. No. Computer says no.
So you showed me this one other video of what you know, I left in between of that is that there was this one chat that you were doing a video of a YouTube video where a guy was making a bunch of mistakes and saying a bunch of stupid shit about the Earth being round or flat. I can't quite recall, but
It might have been Lindsay.
Maybe.
All right.
yeah.
It
All
may
right.
be.
It was like
Let's.
he was like saying all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, this seems like real fact.
And you know what happens in here if you talk too much and we're trying to get on with the show?
Yeah. We do.
I get muted.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to answer that
Alright.
question.
Let's go then. Press play, Terry.
Welcome to some more Flat Earth Science. Today we're going to talk about GPS. I just recently did 2 videos and went back and looked at them and they didn't look too good, so I've taken them down and I've organised myself a little bit better this time, so I hope I can get it out in this one video.
Oh, yeah.
So it's all about Flat Earth, and celestial navigation proves it. It's so easy. If you work on the Flat Earth method as opposed to working on one of these things. So if you go online, they'll start teaching you celestial navigation using one of these and talking about looking down
Where do you buy one of those things from? I haven't seen one.
on top of the Earth, looking down through the ball. So basically that's the centre. That's the centre of our flat Earth, isn't it? The North Arctic. And they talk about positions on here and slicing them and taking them by the centre of the sphere of the ball, which is it's total rubbish. You know, you don't need to go there. It's just
Go
absolute
where?
garbage. I don't know if the sailors are thick or what. I don't know if they realised you can work it quite easily on the flat earth, a lot easier than trying to explain it using a ball. So I'm going to show you how it works on a flat earth.
I think he set it back to front.
So there's the looking down on our flat earth, our flat plane, just like the Gleason map, the longitudes come straight out like this. That 15 degrees there, it's the same back there. Just as it works on a clock, same time there as it would be down here. They have you drawing silly pictures like this on the outside of a ball and projecting it back to the centre of the earth. In other words, you are the centre. You are always the centre of meridian and zenith.
Doesn't he confuse people when he
What?
when he doubles up a 2D image to the orthographic view of the same image? Because he started off with the top-down view of the flat map, and then he goes and then points to the ship for the round Earth, for the globe Earth.
What? I've also noticed that his orifice now has straight lines on the outside, not those funny curvy lines on the outside.
Oh, but that's the latitude. I mean the longitude, sorry. That's the longitudes. So this has got nothing to do with his toroidal...
He's not talking about his magnetic field, Alan.
Yeah.
He's talking about GPS now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I won't get my GPS notes out to shout. That's not how it works. I'll resist that.
It's frozen on my end. Are you playing it?
Yeah.
No, he's got it paused at the moment.
Oh. Well, it's a bit hard to talk while Lindsay's talking, unless you want to talk over Lindsay.
Okay, and these destination.
It's just he was talking,
That's
but
their
he was still.
ball idea.
You mean I paused it like that?
Yeah, and then he was talking, like I could hear his voice.
I don't know how. That would have been. That's
Yeah,
weird.
Have you got the watch page muted? Are you watching it on YouTube as well?
No. Well,
Okay.
maybe. I don't know. Hold on. No, I don't. Hold on. I subscribed to your page, so no, I got my Windows Explorer, closed down. Okay. Well, anyway, sorry for interrupting.
Oh, that's okay. So you can what you see with the YouTube feed should be coming through the Zoom page, your Zoom app. Is that right?
All right.
Was that a yes or a no? I didn't get that.
Sorry, what was your question? I apologize.
In Zoom, where you are now, you should be able to see
Yeah.
the actual video feed.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Right. Okay. Not from YouTube in Google Chrome.
No, I'm on Zoom.
Whatever.
Right.
Always working on this system, but put that aside. This is basically what it is. We're in a donut from north to south. We're inside this arc. The dead center is there. So you've got an arc here, arc there, because it's a donut. It's an arc all the way around. So there's our arc. There is our celestial dome. We are inside that dome. Whether you're north or south, you're inside the dome. There's the dome. In the center, zenith, is the equator. So, south, north. Let's say we're out south. That's you there. Now you want to know where you are on this grid. That's what GPS is. It's a grid. And they have at least 50 celestial bodies in the sphere marked GPS, their ground positions.
Oh,
if
no.
you have 50 celestial bodies marking ground positions, it'll be quite easy.
He's going down that road. He's going down that road. Is he G for ground?
He's claiming that there are things embedded in the dome that are celestial bodies.
Yeah, but also the G for ground, not G for global.
Yeah.
Which is confusing. And we're in
But he's
agreement.
taking a different track to what the flat earthers usually do. The flat earthers usually say that it's towers on the ground. All right. But he's actually saying, no, it's these things that are embedded in the dome that give us our ground position.
Ah, okay. So we're just replacing the satelloons and platforms with something embedded. Yeah, okay.
Embedded in the dome, yeah.
Okay.
And you notice that his dome is not the traditional, like, soup bowl type dome thing, or salad bowl. It's got the mysterious vortex in the center of it.
So in the top part of his donut, he's going to say that there's all these different GPS or the. Okay, I'm not going to try to figure it out anyway.
Define your location in between those known celestial bodies, right? If you've got a grid system,
No.
you just use these points to find where you are in here on a grid.
But how do
They're
you
lots
find
finer
where
than this, obviously. And those circles are a bit skewed because I only have so many cups and plates I can use to make circles.
Just pause it for a moment.
What's that? Just pause, Alan.
Yeah, just pause.
Yeah.
Right, he's saying that you use these points to find out where you are. That's not the whole point, Lindsay. The whole point is that you want to find out where those points are. You don't use the points to find out where you are. You want to find out where you are by using the satellites or whatever. Right? If you don't know where you are, how do you know that you're near one of those points or not? I don't get it. You don't use the points to find out where you are. Like, you don't use your latitude and longitude to find out where you are, because you don't know where your freaking latitude and longitude is if you're using GPS, do you? All right. Your GPS tells you your latitude and longitude. You can't use the thing you're trying to find out where you are.
Hey, Terry, when, like, are you gonna come on earlier on Saturday?
Not really, because it's a set time.
Okay, because I was just kind of wondering. I'm Mountain Time, right?
Oh, I can start streaming anytime between 7 and 9. So you'd have to DM. You'd have to talk about it another day during the week in Discord, and we can see if we can.
Well, I'm gonna.
That'd be interesting streaming from the side of a mountain.
Yeah,
I'm actually gonna call it a night because I have almost pulled an all-nighter. So, and I don't want to start interrupting a lot of things and everything else. And anyway,
So good.
I have to go to bed. So have a good one.
You
Have a
too,
good
mate.
rest, brother.
Thanks for dropping
Talk to you
in.
soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for giving me the privileges and such. So anyway, have a good night.
Mate. Talk
See you,
soon.
mate.
While we have it paused, can I just say it's really, really, really easy to prove that the source of the radio signal from a GPS satellite is coming from the sky and is moving.
Yeah.
Because they transmit at just over 1 gigahertz, and it's really easy to build a nicely directional aerial for that sort of frequency. So you can literally see where the satellite is. And if you don't keep moving that directional aerial, you'll lose the signal really fast.
Did anybody notice what he said about drawing the circles to create his grid?
Yeah, there They're a bit squiffy because he hasn't got enough things to draw around.
Yeah, yeah. I'm running out of different pots and plates.
Yes, I noticed that.
It seemed to be the important.
Has
I
he
mean,
ever
this-
heard of a compass?
I was going to say the stupid thing is you can get compasses that are designed to hold a marker pen and draw circles on whiteboards, can't you?
Aren't
Yeah,
they
you can,
magnetic as well?
I believe that is how they hold the centre centered.
Yeah. So, well, he's drawn it to scale then, just the scale of whatever the pots and pans are.
Exactly. Dinner plate,
Yep.
dessert plate,
Yep.
ice cream bowl.
Yeah. Well, as long as it's a proper
Hot
set,
bed.
long as it's not an odd set, like it wouldn't be right if it was a completely different set of pots and pans and plates. You know, that wouldn't be right.
So let's say that's you, right? And you're in your arc of horizon. Your horizon, what's 5Ks? That's basically what you.
Why has he drawn it over the? I thought it was round the other way. Oh, our
Yeah.
personal dome thing. But I thought the other way was our arc, horizon. Oh, you confused me on that one.
You've got here. All these celestial bodies will be projected down into your arc of horizon. Now you want to know where you
I thought that they were his saddleloons or whatever stuck to the dome up there.
are. So what do? You're a sailor. You're an experienced sailor. You know the stars. You know what the star is. You know what it's called. So you've got your sailor's almanac. They're all in there. So you take a reading from the horizon to that star, and you get 40 degrees.
Orthographically, that doesn't make sense for where stars are. If he's,
No, it doesn't.
he's looking north to south. What do you call it? Is azimuth directly over
Have
here?
you heard anything yet that made sense?
No.
No, of course not. Lindsay.
It's Lindsay.
He said words.
Yeah, but you actually have to use. That's good. He uses words, but you have to connect them in a certain sequence,
Oh, okay.
and that's the part that seems to escape Lindsay.
Isn't there a way to random generate these words that put it together coherently somehow? No.
Might make better sense if he tried that. Random.
Well, that's not the figure we work on. We work on whatever makes up 90 degrees. Straight up. Because that'll bring you to your meridian, your zenith. Because they know where the star is at that precise time you took that reading. They know exactly where it is on Earth.
Who's they?
Where it is on this grid. At that time, the exact time. It works to the minute or even the seconds in those books.
Which books?
No, so it's there. There is there. You've taken your reading.
Which book,
And they tell you it's right there. So they've got that already worked out. What they want to know is where you are. So 40 plus 50 is 90 degrees. You are now zenith meridian. So they can tell you how far you are away from that star in minutes. Then you just do an equation, 60 nautical miles times the minutes gives you the nautical miles between there and there. It's as easy as that.
No.
I don't think that sounds right.
No.
I thought it was something else.
He's bastardizing trigonometry now.
Yeah.
He's bastardizing everything.
Yeah, I thought there was
Yeah.
something to do with the angle and all that. Yeah.
Remember, GPS doesn't tell you where you are. GPS tells you where
Where
the
it is.
satellite is
Yeah.
and what the time is.
Yeah, but he's referring to sextants there when he was talking just then.
It's not actually the GPS that tells you where the satellite is. It's the almanac stored in your GPS receiver that tells you where the satellite is.
And it's a triangulation of some sort, isn't it? The
Yeah.
satellites, for you to know the time, something to do with time from the signal to the back and forward or something.
Yeah, the GPS sends out a coded signal, and encoded in that signal is the time that signal was sent. So, depending on how long it takes you to receive that signal, tells you how far away the satellite is from you, basically. Right? Because your GPS receiver has an almanac stored inside it, which is updated every now and then, that keeps track of where the satellites are. Right? So it knows where the satellites are, and it knows what time the signal was received from the satellite, and so it can tell how far away the satellite is from that. Yeah.
None of this cutting through, slicing through the ball earth, marking to the centre of the sphere, whatever. That's basically it. Now, what they've done is they've given you a position, a radius. Basically given you a radius from that star you just read. So you're anywhere around the circle. So you don't know exactly. You have a fair idea because of temperature. You'd be a little bit warmer up here than down here out in the south. Okay, so what do we do now? We take another reading. We'll find another star.
Yeah, what if it's just a hot day and you're not anywhere near the equator?
What? So Lindsay's going to lick his finger, stick it in the air, and say, "Oh, this is where I am."
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's a bit cold. It's a bit cold out. I must be near the South Pole.
Yeah, apparently on different days he's in different places, even though he's standing on the same spot because the temperature's changed.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's say you're closer, so it's going to be a smaller circle basically. I should have something slightly bigger for that one there, but I'll use this. And so it's like that. So you've taken a reading, say, from another star up here and got a reading of, say, 50 degrees. So whatever equals the 90 will be a 40 degrees, right? And that's your zenith again. So they've just given you a distance from that star to where you are. So it's basic, there's your intersection point, so you must be there. It's bang on. So you're right there. If you want, you can take another reading and get a radius around that. Get a radius around that. And if that's the radius, then this is now going to have to shift up to either there or there. But you take them, if you take them quickly, you're going to end up right there in the middle. And there's your position on the flipping flat Earth. It's that simple.
He didn't mention the star. Like he's saying a star. Whereabouts is the star in the sky? You know, like for the time of night it could be. Which star is he using? What time of night?
He doesn't seem to know.
Ah.
It doesn't seem to matter.
Well, if the star's a bit lower in the sky, you get a different reading, and if compared if it's higher in the sky. Lindsay, I think you're going to get lost if you didn't know where you were.
It's Sailor's Almanacs. It's all in there. Celestial navigation is a projected grid down onto Earth's flat plane. A ground position called GP. Ground position. These are ground positions. The ground position system. Always has been, always will be. That's what GPS is. It's a projection projected down onto the flat plane Earth.
Global position.
They can even make maps. They've got maps. They can project all this down and draw a flat Earth map. It's online. I've got photographs on my phone as well. And you get all these spinning ballers screaming out for a flat Earth map. Well, are they stupid or they're just simple? I don't know. So that's it. So there's your grid. You just draw a grid. And there's all your GPS spots all on there, on that grid. And then some clever bugger decided, oh, we can take that off the ocean and put it on land. Because it's the same grid. It's got one big grid for the flat Earth. Whether out in the ocean or on land, you've still got that same grid. GPS. That's how it all works.
No,
Some of these old guys are a little bit wiser than they are, but you go and mention this flat Earth, try to discuss it with them, they go, oh yeah, but there's GPS. Where were they when we had this? This was ground position. And
Wolfie'd have a field day with this one if he ever heard this.
successful navigation. It's been around since God created Earth. What were they doing all their younger days? Why do they believe this is some magical floating spaceship up here? Easily fooled. Human race, the brain is so easily fooled. The projected grid of celestial bodies gives reference to the rest of the grid's positions. And that's what we do on land. You get 3 cell towers. You've got a position where you are.
Terry.
Try and get.
Hey,
I said just pause it for a moment.
I'm
The
going to
comment
have
has to
to.
be made.
I'm going to have to when he
Yeah.
brought up the cell towers. Definitely, that's.
Oh, the magic floating spaceship, right? It's impossible to have a magic floating spaceship up there. But hell no, we can have a vortex with a black hole in it that contains the sun and the entire Milky Way just above the North Pole.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But
No.
a magic spaceship up there, that's impossible. Holy shit.
I'm going to take Lindsay with his mobile phone out the middle of the Simpson Desert, and I'll leave him there and say, "Okay, you'll be right."
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your mobile phone. There's a couple of, I don't know where the towers are, but you reckon they're there?
Regulation, isn't it? Just what's happening out here. That's the basics.
Carl's got to go into lurk mode. Work calls.
Yep.
And it took me a short period to figure that out. I only watched a couple of videos. I sussed it out straight away, converted it to a flat Earth. But you know the Earth's flat. You can convert anything to flat Earth and it all works. You can't deny it. But if you try and start understanding the spinning ball, you start getting yourself really lost and confused. It's just a joke. So there you have it. In a nutshell.
You mean he gets lost with our normal reality of how things work?
Yeah. So he just has to make shit up.
Yeah.
Your arc of horizon, it's all projected down to your arc. There's all the readings. You are always zenith. They know where that is. They want to know where you are. That'll give you the distance. So they've given you a radius.
Behave, no.
So you're around there somewhere. Take another reading. Shoot that one. There's the radius. You are now there. You've probably drifted a little bit. You've got a reading. There's your radius there. So you've now drifted up that way a little bit. So it could be there or there. So it works, everyone. Blowing the lid on the spinning ball again. Blowing the lid on GPS. What can spherical ballers, globe lovers come at flat earthers with now? I've shown you what GPS is. I've just done a video and showing why everything, the celestial bodies are disks because of magnetic polarity. It can only face its opposite at all times as it goes around because it's all circular. The black hole, everything goes around the black hole of creation. It cannot turn. It cannot turn from its opposite polarity away from the sun
Yeah, don't
or whatever,
digress. He
it's
digresses it now.
negative
Get
or
back
positive.
to GPS.
You cannot turn it away from it. It's magnets. It's all magnetism. Our whole universe is magnetism, all coming from the center of the earth.
Yeah, get
Our
back to your
physical
GPS.
world, non-physical world. Like the dreamland, we physically can go and dream about this, but basically our physical
He
worlds
loses
come from this
himself in
dream.
his thoughts
It's
and
come from nothing.
explanations. He can't stay on topic.
So
Yeah, where were
I
you?
can't wait for the next question of these spinning ballers. And I had one question. They said, they asked, how can I deny space, speak of a black hole and the flat earth in the one video? Well, what is space? Just because you turn the light out and you might see more, doesn't mean you've got extra space. You've only got one set of
there
one
goes Paul
space
again.
here. Just because you can't see it during the day doesn't mean there's extra space out there when you turn the light off. It's the same space. And if they want to call it a black hole,
When you
call
turn
it a
the
black
light
hole
off?
because they only see it at night. We only see what's in here projected out here at night. So
That's got a question.
we call it a black hole. But everything back in there, it's unseen. Doesn't have to be a black
I
hole.
thought you said this was a
It's
quick
just an
one.
unseen hole. What is a black hole?
Well, I didn't
I mean,
put
it's
the
nothing
speed up
without
a bit.
light.
I should
You only
have.
see a black hole because of the light around it. So you don't have to go out to La La
Yeah, I
Land.
know he hasn't.
find a
He
black
hasn't
hole.
gone back into the
They know what the black hole
GPS.
is. They've seen it. They've proven shown how it works with the plasma, creating plasma on the horizon of the black hole. All the physics and science is there. They just have to put it in here. And it's not hard to put in there when you know every ancient culture from hundreds of thousands of years have known about the tree of life. And it's all in there. It's right through all scripture, myths, mythological stories, especially this dual system. It's in all the mythological stories, the two skies, north and
I
south.
think we're finished with the GPS.
It's all there. It's just a big puzzle. I put the whole lot together. This is why I do videos to show people, because the human race is a bit sort of brain dead. They believe anything they're told. They think there's probes up there in La La Land landing on Mars and stuff like that. Absolute garbage. You can't get out of there. We're in a magnetic field. We're inside the flux. We're inverted. What we have in our physical world, we are inverted to that. Creation is inverted to that. The flux you don't see, we're in there. Well, that's about it in that video.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seemed too easy. I thought it would be drawn out a bit longer, but
Now just repeat
It's all
yourself,
there.
Lindsay, because it didn't
that's
make
it. No
sense.
matter where you are, anywhere along here, inside, anywhere on the flat plane of Earth, you'll get your readings. Say this almanac, give you all these positions, GP positions. Make up the 90 degrees. You've got your position, so it's from there to you, or there to you. Within that ring, there's the grid. Anyone can draw a grid. Anyone can create a GPS system. You do it yourself. You know where the planets are. You know where the celestial bodies are. The GP positions. Go and draw your own. Make your own. But it's all on computer, of course, because they're always moving. It's 15 degrees per hour. They're all moving 15 degrees per hour. And the other thing I might as well throw into this video is why the sun is 4 minutes slower each day than the planets. That's because of seasonal change. Because we have, haven't got in there, we have perihelion,
Yeah, we know about
the
aphelion,
season
perihelion.
pointing down there, out to the south, and then we have aphelion. No, aphelion, yeah. That's the sun coming back up for the northern summer. The seasonal change goes like that, see, at the same time as it turns. Well, because the seasonal change is going up and down, it's the variance between this turning and up and down is the 4 minutes per day, because that means the 4 minutes per day is the movement of the season. 4 minutes per day, is that right? I think it is, yeah. So over the year, that's 4 minutes a day. works out to 360 degrees, the whole season going around the Earth. That's the variation because the season changing. So if this comes up, as it comes up, it'll be pulling away, won't it? But it's just the way everything goes around. It's hard to explain. So everything's going around like this, but your star turns up quicker. It's the system, the seasonal change, the magnetic field. The sun's shining out that way. The sun turns up, and the seasonal change. It's not very well explained, but that'll do.
Jeez.
See you later.
And C4, you're not fooling anyone. Especially not me. Oh, I better go there.
So he writes all that crap on the board, and then in the last minute he tries to explain it with his fingers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And try to correlate with the GPS, with the sextant, with the stars. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where he lost me.
Yeah. Oh, that's where he lost you. Okay. So you understood him up to then. All right. Okay.
I mean, that's one of the things. Yeah, okay. Well, I have to just pick one thing, otherwise I'd be telling you everything, the whole 18 minutes of it, of all the things that where he
Well,
lost.
that's true, and to be honest,
That's
no
just
one would want
that's
that.
just one of the highlights. That's just one of the highlights.
Yeah.
You can pick your highlight and say can everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The semi-sentient dome structure celestial makeup.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Hey guys, if C4 wants to be silly out in the peanut gallery, I'll take his spanner off him and then you can play whack a C4.
But be
What's
careful, that could be explosive doing that.
What?
Mhm.
Yeah. What do you say,
It's a
C4?
volatile idea. The volatile idea, that one.
Here we go. Uh oh. My cover's blown. Des says, I wonder how he thinks babies are made. Well, that'd be interesting. I can't blame a guy for trying. That sounds like fun. C4 is totally serial. Oh dear. I know he tries. Is it gems that you're in C4? I see you. Oh, babies are fake. No, that's a bit sad. That is to say that. Well, I do have two more Lindsays, but not in the same vein as this one. They're to do with the lunar eclipse.
I made a lunar eclipse video, Terry.
Yeah,
But
that's what I was been waiting on.
everybody was listening to Witsit, so they didn't come to my premiere.
That'd be right. Gary's out there. Good Flat Earth Day. Oh, today's Good Flat Earth Day. It's Wednesday today.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, they only go for a minute and a bit. There's a couple of them. May 31st. Yeah, but it's not so much the imagery that'd be what it is, Sheepy. It'd be as if he speaks through it or not. Because what's he got here in the description? This one goes for a minute, but then he's got one that's a bit longer. So what's that all about?
Yeah, multi tom tom. Multi tom tom sent me a message, sent me a comment, but because he swore, it didn't get to stay up. So I screenshotted it, and it was about claiming that the Earth, Sun, and Moon couldn't line up to do the lunar eclipse. So I went into Stellarium and used it and took a video of it and replied to multi tom tom. Yeah. It's only about 3 minutes long. I'll put the link in the videos section. Show you stuff. There is a song on it, but it's not copyright, but you can just mute it.
I see a lot of people are taking advantage of putting videos and stuff in. I'll let some
I
people...
can't put it in. Okay. I'll
what
put it in
sort...
any other vids.
Yeah, that's okay. If it's just a one-off video for now, it goes in. John took a screenshot of the one where I paused it at that one. What's this one? About the 14-inch research grade mirror, Kendrick dew heaters on both primary and secondary, feather touch focuser with electronic control, aluminium stiffening sleeve inside secondary focused area, custom magnifier holder. Oh, okay. You should have to go over into Discord to see that. He's not upset about Ranty. He did us a big favour. His picture is proof of a flat plane. You think? Okay. That's a claim. You claim the flat plane. Okay, night of the lunar eclipse, the moon is only 5 k's from him. What? The moon is only 5 kilometres from him. That's pretty close. Now the moon sets, and it's only 5k away. And how far to the horizon? About 9k? Or is it miles or whatever it is?
Yeah, that's an interesting claim.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, no idea what he was doing here. Where are we? Okay, it's just footage. It's the night of the lunar eclipse. The moon is only 5k. Is that the moonrise? Oh, that'd be moonrise, wouldn't it? For where you are, Sheepy.
That's one heck of a zoomed in video, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's moonrise for you, isn't it, Sheepy, where this would be?
Yeah, it was a massive moon that day.
Yeah.
Because I was driving home and I thought, I wonder if the moon's going to be clear today. And it was like this huge, massive thing in the sky. I was like, yeah, pretty clear. There it is.
There's the moon. Wow.
Yeah, it was massive.
You might have had to drive around it.
I'm driving towards it like, whoa.
It wasn't going to get out of your way, that's for sure.
Yeah, I might have, I got this ice warning detection in my car. I was thinking it was going to activate as I was driving towards it. I was like line of sight. It must have been what, like 7 kilometers from me.
Oh, that's all that is. Just a video of the moon. Oh, what happened there? So you got the what's his name turned down?
remember he's got auto exposure on.
Yeah, the
But,
exposure. Yeah, the exposure didn't look right for some reason.
well, as long as he keeps the moon centered, it'll expose for the it'll expose for the moon, because the moon is a significant portion of the frame.
Yeah.
The minute he moves off the moon, it tries to start exposing for the sky, and of course at that point the moon will become nothing other than a huge bright blob in the sky.
Yeah. So he's claiming me because it's such a big moon. It's only 5 k's from him. Okay. Now this.
Well, interestingly, the moon is always just over half a degree in diameter when it's full. It's just when it's really close to the horizon, you can sometimes see perspective effects that make you think it looks much bigger in proportion to what it normally does when it's higher in the sky.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy over there's a lot of controversy over that, Alan. It's more than just perspective effects. It's actually got to do with psychology as well.
Yeah, probably.
Mm.
It's certainly weird how it can. I mean, obviously, when you film it, it's just perspective.
Yeah.
But that perception of it is. I think the problem is when we concentrate on something, like say with the moon, you do get that. You do notice the perspective a bit, I think, more that you don't get when it's away from the horizon. But as you say, there's also some brain stuff going on in there.
Yeah.
You have to read what Gary said out in the Peanut Gallery. It's funny. Now you have to scroll up. I just caught it because I.
It would have done so by moving higher.
No. Back up. Back up to.
Oh. If the photographer had taken the picture from several miles further away, the tower would appear lower than the hilltops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figure that one out. What happens to the mountains when you move further away as well as the tower? Isn't something going to go in proportion? Isn't something going to be proportionally the same for both of them?
Yeah, the angles would just be smaller.
There's a response that comes to mind after you read that, Alan, and it was, "How about no?"
I was more thinking quoting, and I'm going to have to get it in. I'm going to have to get it in the soundboard. Quoting Cool Hard Logic. Bollocks.
What do you mean sound? There's no sound here to play. Well, I don't think there will be for this one.
I took some photos last night with my camera, but I can't seem to put photos on Facebook, YouTube.
The camera?
No, that's because what type editing software.
What type of camera has he got?
He was trying to force the camera into his screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's like he's taken it through Flywire.
Yeah.
Yeah, what type of camera you got, Lindsay?
Well, I don't know how to. So I thought I'd show a few photos. You're looking at my laptop.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go through a few.
Oh, that's why it looks so bad.
Where should we go? This way.
He's filming his laptop.
I'm going that way.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh no.
There's the full moon coming over the.
That's a new one. You can see the shadow of him, and then Gee.
This to me,
the
this
problem
is so.
is,
To me, this is so sad
Full
from a
moon coming
person
over the
that's
ridge
trying to spout
opposite our house.
his rhetoric with this
Probably
flat
can't
Earth
see
stuff,
that, can you?
and then he goes and says,
Yeah.
"Sorry,
No.
technical
We'll keep
tools
going.
are beyond my
See what
capability."
turns out. That was the full moon.
I'm pretty sure if he searched how to upload to Facebook, it would
That's when the
Or
The
to
clip started
YouTube,
happening.
or to his computer. It doesn't matter
look
which
how
one.
smooth
Let-
that
let's
company
face it,
can't tell.
even
The moon
Windows
is
built-in
super
video
smooth
editor
there.
would allow him to
I
insert
think science has a bit of a
photos.
problem showing a Swiss
Yeah.
bit of cheese and all
Wouldn't
the
have been too hard.
craters and that. That's all right halfway through the monthly cycle, but once it's formed, fully formed, that's slightly
Jeez.
unusual actually. That's really smooth as a baby's bottom. But
Yes,
usually full
because
moons are
it's
quite smooth.
slightly out of
Last night it was
focus,
super smooth.
overexposed, and you're looking at it on a flipping videoing it off a computer screen.
And I've taken the arc.
Yeah, but
shadow,
Alan,
the
what's
arc.
your point?
It's not Earth, it's to do with the planets. It's
I-
Mars is between the moon and the sun. The back of the sun and the moon. Mars. But all the
Back of the
planets are
sun.
obviously a lot smaller than the moon and the sun. But it just must be a magnetic. It's explodes the view. You've seen how we get a
Terry, just one sec. What I was trying to say was, for what he's doing, I will refer you to a video called "World of Batshit Number One." Again, by Cool Hard Logic,
Okay.
which kind of deals with all the crap that this guy is doing. And he says it so much more eloquently than I can.
His
We
camera's
might-
better than mine, and he wasted opportunity here.
I might have to email Paul an internet connection so he can stay connected.
Ugh.
That's about the third time. He's definitely got internet problems over somewhere. Something going wrong.
Yeah.
a with a magnetic film. What do they call it? Ferro
I was going to see if you got that right.
cell film. And you can get a projected depth of like 6 inches and a tenth of a millimeter of ferro cell.
No,
Ferro
we're
film.
telling the story.
Ferro cell film. You can get a depth, a projected.
What's he going on about, Alan?
I don't know.
He's talking about photography. Or he thinks he is.
Depth of about 6 inches. So it must be some sort of magnification going on with the magnetic field. But anyway, this here, that diameter is twice the diameter of the moon, whatever.
Twice.
He just
A little
pointed
bit more
out.
than twice.
He just pointed
Yeah.
out. He pointed it out for you, Sheepy.
That is ridiculous.
The diameter based off that curvature of the shadow of the Earth and the size of the moon. That's bigger than the moon. Yeah, that's right, Lindsay.
Whatever it is, whatever's happening
Twice.
there.
Yeah, that's all it is. Twice. It's like
Smooth as anything.
Flatoid
Look at
making
it.
the towers twice instead of four
Wow,
and a
that
half.
is super smooth. I've got plenty of photos of the full moons, but nothing that shows it up as being that smooth. It's beautiful.
That's a crap photo of the moon.
It's out of focus.
Yeah, exactly.
It's double out of
We've
focus
tried
because
all-
he's
all
out of
sorts
focus
different settings
on
on
the
the
screen
camera,
as well.
P900.
Yeah.
What did he say? He had a P900. Is that what he
No, that
said?
explains a that explains
Sorts
a
of different
lot.
settings on the camera, the P900.
Ah, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense.
Big problem with the P900. No proper manual exposure mode,
Oh,
from what I remember. And you can't turn the autofocus off.
Oh, that's worse even.
Far out. That's
You
crazy.
see a little bit of the red tinge
But
there.
but but
See a
Alan,
planet
it can
down there?
zoom in and zoom ships coming back over the
Or a star,
horizon.
no star.
It's only got a 357mm focal length on that lens at maximum zoom.
But it just goes to show
Oh man.
that the back of the sun does reflect some light onto the moon.
The back of
Get a
the
tripod,
what?
man.
Did he meant to say that, didn't he?
The sun.
That is the
No, he
Earth.
said the back
That's
of the
not-
sun. Did you hear what he said? Look, listen.
Go back a bit.
But it just goes to show that the back of the sun does reflect some light onto the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
Back of the sun.
Yeah, the back of the sun reflects light onto the moon.
But this is not Earth shine. You can't have Earth shine when the moon is full. It's impossible.
I'll wait till Paul comes in and I'll rewind it again for him. He'll like this bit.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do the dramatic lead up to it.
Oh,
All right.
the back of the sun.
Yeah, the back. Shush, don't spoil it. You there, Paul? Come in, Paul. Earth calling, Paul.
Yeah, I'm
I
here
think
for the
that was the
moment.
YouTube.
Okay, we just paused it for you just so you could hear what's going on. Okay,
Oh, you don't have to do that.
press play.
But it just goes to show that the back of the sun does reflect some light onto the moon because it's projected.
I thought you'd like that one. We rewound it for you. We rewound it for
The
you.
back of the sun reflects some light
Yeah,
onto the moon.
yeah. So somebody, I was going to say somebody put the oh, it hasn't got closed captions. Oh, bugger. If that had closed captions, I'd do a screenshot of it with the Google Translate and have
You
it
can
have
put
it as an
closed
image.
captions on. You can turn the closed captions on, can't you?
No, not if it hasn't got it
Oh,
written
Terry.
on there. It hasn't got closed
Terry.
captions. Did you bugger?
Terry.
Hello?
Wait, so are you talking about how like it's got that red tinge?
Uh,
Terry, are you talking about how the moon has the red tinge on it? Like, well, it's him.
he was saying the back of the sun, reflecting light onto the moon.
Terry, so is this guy talking about the red tinge on the moon?
I don't know what he's talking about actually.
Because if he's talking about the
Well,
red,
he's talking
the
about
red
the-
tinge, if he's talking about the red tinge, it's when the moon moves through the umbra, and it takes on a distinctive red glow. And the umbra is like the deepest part of the Earth's shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said
But-
back of the sun.
Oh, you
Yeah,
haven't experienced
and-
you haven't experienced Lindsay before, has he?
No.
And just a little bit of the red light gets refracted around through the Earth's atmosphere enough to just light the moon up during the total eclipse. And of course, it is the only time that you can take a photograph, a correctly exposed photograph of the full moon and have stars visible in the background. Because you need an awful lot of exposure to get a decent exposure on the moon at the full eclipse.
Yeah, that was definitely a quotable statement from Lindsay that time. The back of the sun. The back of the sun.
Projecting
Reflected
Mars,
from the back of the sun.
Yeah.
the light of Mars.
And to give you an idea of some of the questionable intellectual minds that are around Ozzie, if you're in the YouTube chat, there's a couple of people that haven't got spanners. So if you did read any
I'm
of their,
Deus in the chat.
you haven't wrote anything in the chat.
I only wrote one thing.
You got a spanner?
No.
Okay.
No, he's naked as well.
Okay.
I
Deus.
believe he's called Deus. Yeah.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
Deus. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Latin.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about you without a spanner. That's the other person.
Gary Woodbenga.
Yeah. He's talking. Is he still going on about Blackpool Tower thing?
Yeah, he's still talking about. He's still going on about parallax, although he obviously doesn't really understand what parallax is.
Yeah.
Isn't parallax from DC?
Yes.
Now we'd have to show you the
The,
Blackpool Tower image that's in my Discord. I don't know if I've got it floating around, where all these flurfers have been questioning it, because it shows the curvature in the sense of the mountains are lower than the actual tower, and things for the curve. It's too hard for me to explain it all technically, but.
So it's something to do with the super blood moon that we had not that long ago.
This video's to do with the lunar eclipse we had the other night.
Is he saying,
I
Terry,
got
that
some
it goes
pictures.
red because of Mars?
Yeah, I heard him
God
hear
no.
that.
God no, it doesn't. It's because the moon moves through the deepest part.
No.
of the Earth's
Listen,
shadow,
Izzy, I
so the
don't
umbra.
know who you are, but we're talking about Lindsay. I know it's not caused by that.
Yeah.
But that's what he just went on to say. First, he said back of the sun, as if it has a front and back, and then he went on to the light of Mars, and that's where we've paused the video. So, yeah.
Lindsay, no, that it is not caused by Mars.
No, yeah.
We'd be stopping this video
Lindsay
every 2
knows.
seconds for this amount of things he says wrongs in some of his videos.
Exactly.
But this is not his normal thing without the lunar. We just watched Lindsay's presentation a second ago, so at least you missed out on that. That would have really broke your brain.
Was it about astronomy too?
Worse.
What was it about?
He's trying to do a model of an Earth that's shaped like a donut with GPS, trying to explain GPS to us and it's ground positioning system, not global positioning system. And he's trying to use a sextant
objects,
and he's trying to equate a sextant for the stars with GPS ground positioning system as well at the same time.
There isn't really any way to really do that.
Well, you try to tell him that.
Okay. I nearly got into, actually changed nearly to, I was an intern for NASA for a while. So, yeah. That's probably all the proof I need.
The guys on the panel don't know who you are, is he?
Currently,
you can introduce yourself. They know where you're probably from, but
yeah. Well, Ezzy's my nickname. I go by Ezra. I'm a station sergeant for the Australian Federal Police and a crew leader for the Royal Fire Service. I am 39.
Yeah, that's good. That's good enough.
I was an intern for NASA. There we go. That's all we need.
Yeah, and we're over on that Grand Theft Auto role play game that I play. The guys know about.
Yeah, Bluebird.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I just don't want to be associated with anything crazy that Lindsay says just because I'm from the same country.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, poor sheepy. Has to be
by
from the same-
association.
Yeah.
And you don't even
Hey,
know what
I
island
gotta
he
live
lives.
with.
Sorry, Blue.
I said I got to live with Witsit. You guys got to put up with Lindsay.
Yeah.
And Gary. Haven't you got Gary over there? Somewhere?
Shh, be quiet.
You got a smorgasbord.
It's a smorgasbord, actually. You gotta get that shh sound, you know.
That's
Schmorga.
We get Scottish Storm.
I was waiting for that Paul.
Press play.
Onto
Press
the
play
moon.
theory.
So although the moon has its own light, the sun
Well, do I have to? Do I have to?
Let's see where it goes from here.
Yeah, okay.
highlights it. That's the way I see it. It's just another setting. It sort of reduces it right down.
You're not seeing this, are you, Ozzie? Because it's over on YouTube.
No, I'm watching it live.
Oh, okay.
So you have to remember all
Yeah,
these are
but
projections. We only see projections.
If you wanted
I've
to
got
join the
Minecraft
Zoom thing, I'd
projected
have to
out
give you
from
the
the
key
centre
to the
of the
special
Earth.
place.
Centre of the donut.
I've got
And
I hear
obviously
them
this-
anyways through your mic.
This is the
I've
sun
got
side
Minecraft
and
open
the
on
centre of the.
one monitor. I got the YouTube stream open on my other one.
Okay. I've only got one monitor. I'm backward here.
donut.
I actually only got my second one last month.
Our sun we see out here, you can't. That has no effect on anything. They're all projections. So it's only what's going on inside the centre vortex, inside the donut, and the projected image we see of that. The video I took as the moon came up over the ridge. I've zoomed in, but this ridge is only,
Oh, pardon me.
it's not even a mile across the valley. Probably
Oh.
half a mile away.
Oh, he's nearly doxing himself.
So I've zoomed in. You see, that's how high a fence is, and this is what happens. It's all just a matter of light. It's just light.
Yeah.
Look at the fence is normally what, a metre, 12.
Perspective.
If he doxes himself anymore, we'll be able to find where he lives if he keeps this up.
Yeah, I know
can
that
do that
tree
in
quite
just a few
well.
seconds.
It's a tuft of trees.
I can find where he lives
Yeah.
just pretty quickly.
Isn't it
If it's
funny how the flurfers claim everything is perspective and then deny it's perspective when it actually is perspective?
That's an interesting perspective.
You mean circular reasoning, like on a flat Earth?
1200 or something? 1400?
Get back to your lunar eclipse, Lindsay. I want to hear you.
You're even filming the screen. This is just.
I want to hear more about the back of the sun.
Here's your 15-hour degree drift, everybody. Earth isn't going anywhere. The magnetic field's moving.
15 degree
15
drift
hour
with the moon.
15-hour degrees.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
See, there's the belly button of the sun. The moon. Just like you'd see on a
What?
pregnant woman. Because this is when the moon gives birth at a full moon. But only in those 5 holy days.
A Gaussian physics.
Oh
We have
no.
this other part down here. I'm not sure what that is representing.
I'm sure you'll make something up.
Give him a second.
Exactly.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it look so big? Massive. and it's all in our arc of
Because you've
horizon.
zoomed in
So
on
that
it.
could
That's why it
just
looks big.
probably
Yeah.
be in the firmament, only 5 k's away from us.
That's physically impossible.
5 k's away from us.
Oh, no.
Look out when you're flying.
So if that
I mean,
5K,
let's face it.
Sheepy, if that's 5K's away from me when it was moonrise that day, that means if you would look to your west, you would have seen the moon over the ocean.
Well, that means
Yeah,
that
there's
someone
no
5 k's
way.
away has got a freaking big moon right above them.
Yeah.
How the hell did he get
I mean-
that? The moon is too small to see that well from 384,000 kilometers away.
Well, he's just used it. It's just his camera has a field of view of about 1 degree.
I mean, clearly. I got a telescope that basically sees that, and it's 150 times.
Yeah, you can't. When it comes to digital photographs like this, you can't actually easily give a magnification because there's too many. There's too many
It doesn't
different
even
options
real.
for them.
Well,
It
he
doesn't
is
look real
filming
in the
his
slightest.
laptop screen because he doesn't know how to.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to upload the pictures.
Yeah, from his phone,
True.
from the camera to the computer.
Yeah, so he's filming
But-
his screen while
But
playing the video.
But I do know a very well respected YouTuber on the globe side of the argument who does the same. Although at least he can manage to line his flipping screen up with his camera properly. Unlike Lindsay.
Hmm. Yeah, but how's he recording this then? With his webcam or his phone?
No, he's re-recording this with his camera off his computer screen. That's why I mentioned go watch World of Batshit #1 or how the Happy Pig Demon.
Yeah, but how was he able to upload the footage that he's filming now to YouTube? But he can't.
I think he goes on. I think YouTube gives you an option just to basically record off a camera. That's why he never edits anything.
Yeah. Okay.
He
Because he
manages to
obviously
get it
can't
to his
hit-
computer, but he doesn't know where to go from there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Everything is seen in our arc of horizon. Set in the firmament, and this is in the lower arc of the firmament, the lower heaven, as the Muslims called it, when the information was given to Muhammad. It was brought down to the lowest heaven, would be the lowest arc in your horizon. It's full moon. Full moon
Not even
moves out the
close to what
furthest
that's about.
in the
Nah.
in the ecliptic beyond the planets. So the planets at this stage are between the moon and the sun, and we had quite a few lining up.
All of
but
them.
this will be the Mars creating this.
Hey?
At new moon, the planets will be behind the moon. So they'll be behind the moon.
It's
So you got the sun, the moon, and the planet.
No,
This will be the Mars.
I don't really want to pause it, Lindsay.
it's a shame that the photograph he took or the video he's got there is so overexposed that you've lost most of the nice detail of the moon.
Yeah. Wasted
And the colour.
opportunities.
Yeah, wasted.
Planets will line up behind the moon.
Planets
What
will
was that?
line up. The planets will line up behind them.
So this is what we have. That was the size of the shadow on the moon,
Was it? Wasn't that
and this
small?
diameter here is the size of the moon. It's exactly twice the size. The shadow was exactly twice the size of the
I
moon.
think your ratio's a bit out.
So I'm going to be looking
Yeah,
into
that
that.
plate was not double that. What the
No.
hell are you talking about? Cheers. Fuck. Alright.
Sorry about that, Ezra.
About what?
Sorry about that. having to put up with that guy.
And his idiocy.
Mm. That was that was actually a little bit sedate compared to the other videos we watched of him.
Yeah,
He's a
so
weak.
if that's the case, then what the fuck?
Oh, there's the thumbnails of his other ones. All religions are about the spiritual awakening. That's whatever that episode is. Plato's cave of reflections. Everything is a projector. That's another one that came up.
I'm not seeing anything, Terry.
Oh, just showing on the out on the YouTubes for Ezra. Okay.
Oh, on those. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Do you think it's all about you all the time, Sheepy?
No, I thought it was about internally here. We were playing it, and it was going to appear over there. It's not about me.
No, it's not about you.
But yeah. Anyway, you going to play my video? I'm kidding. But yeah, that doesn't help.
How long does it go for?
2 minutes 40 or something.
Oh, I don't know. Can we spare it? We'll put it to the peanuts out there to vote.
Fair enough.
If they don't say yes, there's going to be
Peanuts.
a revolt.
Lend me your ears.
And eyes.
Oh, and eyes.
And
okay.
eyes.
Okay. Oh,
4.
dear. 4. Oh, Ezra doesn't know about the 4.
What?
Oh,
Oh, the 4.
Terry,
Yeah.
Carl Edwards has a question for you. What is a Holden HSV GTS? I saw a video of
Oh
one
my
being
God.
squished by a truck. Is it a
Oh.
rare version?
Well, that one's no good to anyone anymore.
Alright, Holden HSV GTS
It was a
is
nice
the
car.
sexiest car alive.
It was a nice car, but the 2003, the 2000 and something model. No, I don't even know. 2001 maybe. Just fell short of the
Well,
SS.
the body's no different to a normal Commodore. It's just the badges and the motor and everything that makes it different.
Yeah, it's got a little bit less horsepower than a VT, right?
I don't know.
More.
Or the newer one, right? The newer one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean the 2001 VT.
Cars.
Sheepy's video?
Talking cars now.
Who? I'm allowed to.
It was about Terry. It was about Terry.
I'm assuming Carl's not from
I
Australia.
was talking about my car. Damn it.
Anything happening in the city lately, Ezra, while we get this video ready?
I was in earlier today, just after the 4 p.m. tsunami, and I had a power outage for about 4 hours, and I was assigned to check every single transformer in the entire estate to make sure that there was no voltage damage or anything that could cause them to go off. So that was fun. And I was on duty too, like in honor, and just talking, mid-talk, power goes off. I go down south end of the estate to see if the lights are on down there. They were. Then as I'm heading down there, I get a call from my first officer from the RFS, and he's like, "Hey mate, you're able to do a check on every transformer in the estate?" And I'm like, "I don't even have my uniform with me." He's like, "Oh, no worries, I'm nearly there anyways. I can just drop you off a high-vis." I was like, "Okay." So we meet up with him. He drops off the high-vis when we get to the shop just down the road. I have to tie my hair up because it's a little bit on the long end. And I spent about an hour and a half in the entire estate, which is approximately 1.5 kilometers in radius, and go to every single transformer and send him a text of the serial number and any damage at all. Luckily, the worst in terms of damage was deterioration. Like there was no tampering, there was no, nothing illegal. But I had to ask like probably 20 different people to tell me where a transformer was because I didn't know where they were. It was a pain in the ass, but yeah. And then after I finished sending them to him, I was like, "All right, heading home now. That's about all of them." And he calls me again. I'm like, "Oh, don't tell me to go back out again." He's like, "Nah, you're good." Sending everything over to Ergon. I'm like, "Oh, thank God." And yeah, and the power outage lasted for about 4 hours and maybe 30 odd minutes. No, maybe an hour ago the power came back on.
You're not in Victoria, are you?
No, Queensland.
Queensland.
No, I haven't been to Victoria since I was in Australian Bomb Data Centre in 2009.
Paul's been having problems tonight. I think he's joined. How many? What are you up to now? The 5th time?
Yeah, something like that.
So,
you know.
The internet don't like you.
No. It's the wet weather.
To be fair, it's Australia. Internet doesn't like anyone.
Well, touch wood. I'm okay. Touch wood. What do you got, Sheepy?
Yeah.
Waiting for you.
What?
I said waiting for your
It's in
video.
the.
Where'd you
it's in
hiding
the,
it?
I said I put it in the any other vids. It's right there.
Oh, it's right there, over there.
Yep.
Over there, over here, over there. Okay.
Yep. 40 minutes ago.
Have to go and find it.
It's not about me, Terry.
No, it's not about you. Okay.
It was funny. Kimo came in earlier today, whatever, and he was like, it's normally not about him. He made it all about him. It was very funny.
I'll give you the special key next time, Ezra, if you're able to join Zoom, if you've got time. Wednesdays and Saturday evenings is my usual streaming time.
Okay, well, this Saturday I won't be available.
Yeah, if there's not much happening in the city the night when I stream, because usually Patrick DMs me and said, "Are you coming in?" And I go, "No, like usual live stream Wednesdays and Saturdays." He keeps forgetting. I've got to keep reminding him. He's got a memory like a goldfish, I tell you.
X, yeah, probably.
And he had some news for me the other day, and I haven't gone back. I haven't been in to find out what the news was. And by the time I go in to talk to him or over in Discord, I say, "Oh, what's that news you're going to tell me?" And you go, "Oh, what news?" Oh, jeez. Hopefully forget about it. Alright, there we are, Sheepy.
You can play with the sound, Terry.
I can play with the sound?
There's no copyright on it.
Okay. What am I doing here? Swap to there. All good in there. Press play. Oh, I've got to read that. Multi-Dum-Dum commented, "Read my lips, D-heads. The Earth, Sun and Moon never ever line up. Therefore the lunar eclipse is not the shadow of the Earth. Go get a brain, you fantasy globe has been debunked already, so stop."
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know, there's no... Like, his only claim is the Earth, Sun and Moon never ever line up. But no explanation of why they don't or whatever. So therefore his conclusion is the lunar eclipse is not the shadow of the Earth. See? So that's, yeah.
Has this person ever been to high school or primary school? And that
Oh, well, he's indoctrinated if you have. If you've been to high school, you're indoctrinated for from learning maths and stuff and science from school? Yeah.
Where
So
else do you learn it?
Yeah, good question.
End is nigh!
See, Paul could have played this, or he did. Oh no. Yeah. Good one. Oh. I see over on the Discord somebody did post some images for the lunar thing, Ezra, the other day. I don't know who did those ones. So, you got anything for us
Yeah, it's just
tonight, Paul?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
And what's that, Sheepy? Sorry?
I was just saying, Multi-Tom came back to my video and replied a comment to it. It's funny. I replied in kind.
A kind reply or replied in kind?
Quite reserved for myself, I think.
Okay.
All right. So the catch is, Terry, if I drop out, it's usually 3 or 4 minutes before I get back on. So I'll do a little thing first, and then we'll do the quiz after. Okay. So if I drop out in the middle of the quiz, you'll just have to wait.
Well, hopefully you haven't given the answer to the question, and we can all ponder the question until you get back.
Yeah,
that'd work out.
But first of all, we have some funny species names. You know, scientists do have a sense of humour, and when you discover something new, you have the right to name it sometimes, and some people take that job quite not seriously. So someone named an endangered snail the bar humbugeye. Yeah, apparently after Ebenezer Scrooge from Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. What about this species, Spongiforma squarepantsii? This species isn't actually a sponge, but a fungus of the Boletaceae family. The sponge-like bodies of the species inspired the discoverers to name it after everyone's favourite pineapple-dwelling creature under the sea. The Hears genus. It's a genus of animals. Evenhuis isn't alone when it comes to using scientific classification for puns. A worthy nod goes to Marsh, who in 1993 named some flies Here's looking at ya and here's to ya. Bravo, Marsh, here's to you. Ahaha. Arnold Menke named a wasp Ahaha in 1977 after receiving a package of insect specimens and saying aha out loud. He liked the name so much he even used it on his car's registration plate. The Agra genus. Agra is a huge genus of beetles known as elegant canopy beetles. One scientist, Terry Irwin, has named almost half of the 500 described species and has used this opportunity to be as creative as possible. Highlights from the genus include aggravation, agoraphobia, and agracadabra. Yeah, I like that. Also used the opportunity to do what many biologists do when naming species, honouring celebrities. There's a beetle in his genus named Agra Schwarzeneggeri. Sci-fi references. I like this one. Sci-fi references in scientific classification don't stop with Agathidium vaderi. Star Wars features prominently in taxonomy with an entire beetle genus of mites named Darth Vaderum and a wasp named Polymistus chewbacca. The real hoopy froods out there will be happy to know that there's a fish named Bidenichthys beeblebroxii and a fungus moth named Erectheus beeblebroxi, after the ex-galactic president from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. There's even a fossil fish called Fjordichthys slatibart-fasti. Yeah. And special mentions include some of our favourite names for celebs include Aposticus Angelino Jolie for Angelina Jolie, Pressucoila how do you say that? I'm a Lishukupus. Oh, I'm all shook up. I'm all shook up. I'm all shook up, yeah, for Elvis Presley. And Scaptia Beyonce for Beyonce. Works of art have been appreciated too, including our favourite Apollos now and Draculoides Bram Stokeri.
On the one before you read the fish one, I thought you were going to say a fish called Wanda. Missed that one. I missed that.
So,
I wasn't quick enough.
Do you want some quiz questions?
While you got your internet connection. Hey Ezra, you still there?
Mm-hmm.
You any good at quizzes?
Fairly.
Oh, okay. He's been humble.
Yeah, he is being
Maybe.
humble, isn't he?
How's Ezra going to do it if he's not in Zoom? He'll have to type it out in the peanut gallery.
Yeah. All right, let me get the internal chat up. There it is.
Yeah, you won't see our answers, Ezra, in the panel because we type ours in the internal chat.
All right, share screen.
Because of the time delay. But you may hear
All right,
the
here we
question.
go.
He'll hear the question first to type in first, then, won't he?
He will, yeah.
What am I putting it in?
In the peanut gallery in YouTube.
Peanut gallery?
The side
The
chat, the
text
side
chat.
chat, the text side chat. They're peanuts. They're me peanuts that are out there.
Yeah. All right,
Wait,
here
is
we
it a
go.
channel on
Let's
the
go while the internet's hot.
Yeah, okay. What's that, Ezra?
All right.
Is that in the Discord or on YouTube chat?
YouTube chat. YouTube chat.
Okay.
Yeah, Vondel's saying, over here, over here.
All right,
Okay,
here
well,
we
I'm
go.
gonna see it late.
Question one. Question one. So you get a progressive series of clues, Ezra, and you've got to try and guess what the answer is before you get the picture clue at the end. Right. So this substance was given to Buddha by a monkey while in the wilderness, an act commemorated on Madhu Purnima. So it's a substance you're trying to find out what it is.
And you're allowed to have
Not
more
a
than one
banana.
and you're allowed to have
Not
more than one
tea.
guess as well.
Not naan bread. The second part of your clue is the design of the papal tiara derives from a structure that usually houses this substance. And we have a correct answer in the peanuts.
Already?
Yes,
Substance
we do.
by a monkey while in the
we will-
wilderness, an act commemorated on Madhu Purnima. And then what's the second one? Because I don't see the second one on YouTube yet.
Oh, the questions are coming through. Oh, you're not getting the questions through Zoom.
No.
That's the problem.
The design of the
Yeah.
papal tiara derives from a structure that usually houses a substance, peanuts.
Oh,
No, not
All
peanuts.
right, so we've got a correct answer. We've got a correct answer in the peanuts. So let's keep going for the internal people. They probably know the correct answer now anyway.
Yeah, we
We'll just
know
go
what it
through
is.
the
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. In a hadith describing a man with a stomach ache, Muhammad suggests drinking this substance.
Oh,
In the Book
tea.
of Judges, Samson found his substance in the body of a lion, and Saul threatened to kill Jonathan after he ate this substance. Still don't know what it is, Ezra? Name this substance that John the Baptist ate with locusts, which supposedly flowed with milk in the promised land.
Milk and
Honey.
Yay! You got it. Yes, the correct answer is honey. All right, that's how it works. All right.
Yeah, so you
you'll
Yeah,
have
so
to
it gives
use-
you hints
you'll
as it
have
goes
to-
along, and then I
yeah,
have to
yeah.
use that.
Usually,
So-
if you're in
yeah.
Zoom, you can see what the questions is as Paul's reading it out, and then we type it into the internal chat
Yeah.
in Zoom, and
Yeah.
we don't say it
You
out
don't
loud.
say-
Yeah, we don't say it
don't
out
say
loud. And the
I can
peanuts
download Zoom right now.
and the peanuts out there are usually typing it in out there, the answers as well.
Yeah.
yeah. Unless your name's
Okay.
Unless
Question
your name's
two.
Alan.
yeah, and I get it in the wrong and I get it in the wrong thingy.
Yeah, you get the wrong thingy. Yeah.
Okay.
Says I was
Question-
having just woken back.
How do
up
I get the
again.
meeting ID?
It's in the special place in Oz Squad. I gave you the special key for it.
Okay. Question 2. The presence of this property within a molecule de-shields protons from the magnetic field in NMR, leading to a higher chemical shift.
Presence of this property.
Okay.
So we're looking for a property.
You're looking for a property. Yeah. It's not spin. Carly.
I'm downloading Zoom. So it's the presence of this property within a molecule de-shields protons from the magnetic field in NMR, leading to a high chemical shift. I think I already know what it is, but I need to remember the name.
Don't say it out loud.
Yeah, don't say that loud.
You type your answer.
Oh, he's down. He's sorting out Zoom.
Yeah, all right.
But he's
Second
reading it from
clue.
YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
The second clue. Yeah. The second clue is 1 electron energies and the number of valence electrons of the s and p orbitals are used in Allen's equation for this property.
Alan.
Not-
Alan.
Not mine. Too many L's. Too many L's, not enough A's.
Okay.
It's not charged for Fondle, but it's got something to do with it.
MMRs. Magnetic field.
Yeah, Carl. Makes it so much clearer, that second clue, doesn't it? Not polarity, Carl. No. Okay, your third clue is the difference in this property between two atoms is a function of their bond dissociation energies, according to a scale proposed by Pauling. Not dipoles.
I'm still waiting for 3 to show up, and Zoom just finished installing.
I didn't think you had to install Zoom, Alan, to join.
It basically forced me to.
Do it.
It depends on how you do it, because you won't get an avatar if you do it the other certain way.
Carl is getting pretty warm. It's getting very close, Carl, but not quite the right word. All right, your next part of your clue is, on that scale, fluorine has the highest value for this property, 3.98. This is a question for all the scientists out there.
Yeah, but is the property a fairly well-known property, not just through the scientific?
It is if you know a little bit about chemistry.
Okay.
And your final, or second last,
Yeah.
your final worded clue is, name this property that quantifies the ability of an atom to attract electrons.
Ah.
I just put mine in.
And we do have.
Oh, we do.
answer.
Yeah, we do it in the
Peanuts.
internal. We do it in the internal chat right now. But that's okay for now.
Okay, so we have a correct answer from Deuce in the Peanuts.
That's
It
me.
is-
Yeah, that's Ezra.
Yeah, it is electronegativity. All right, and there's a 3D representation of the electronegativity of the.
So if you'd have put that in the
periodic
internal
table.
chat, we would have been still sitting here waiting for one of the Peanuts to get it.
Yeah. So the correct answer was electronegativity.
You can thank
question-
Ezra for that one, Peanuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question 3.
Have you got the pop-out chat, Ezra? Down the bottom, you see where it says chat participants?
I can just do Alt H, I think.
You should have chat participants on the screen for Zoom. When you hover your mouse across the bottom, where it's got share screen, record, participants, video, mute.
Is there a way to make it so I have to actually push something in order for it to pick up my mic? Or do I just talk?
You just talk.
You just talk.
Okay.
Yeah, you just talk.
Okay, well, I've got chat open now.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, question 3. The fact that this law's description of macroscopic events does not match microscopic time reversal symmetry is the source of Loschmidt's paradox.
Okay.
No, it's not gravity, Carl. It's a law that you're after.
And it's a description of a macroscopic event. Okay.
Does not match microscopic time reversal symmetry. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The second worded clue is, one theorem that supports this law states that the closed integral of dq over t is always greater than or equal to 0. We have a correct answer in the internal chat.
Already?
Yep. Well done, Alan.
Okay.
One statement of this law says that it is impossible for heat to pass from a cold body to a warm body without work being done.
Yeah, that one probably would have hit me on the right track.
Yeah, Alan got that.
Yeah.
Which one, Carl? Which one, Carl?
One of them.
One of them, Carl. You can't just,
Yeah, wrong.
you have to pick
Come
one or
on,
the
come
other.
on, you can do it. You can do it. This law underpins the theory that the universe will undergo an inevitable heat death where no thermodynamic energy is available. No, Dora, it's not the first law of thermodynamics. Of
Flurpo.
yeah,
No.
it might be the first law of flurfodynamics. Yeah, it could be.
Uh,
And yes, Carl, you're right. It is the second law of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics, it is, yes. All right, well done. Question 4. This artist describes silver spaceships that deliver Mother Nature's silver seeds to their new home in the sun in one song.
Hmm.
So it's an artist. That you
Wait,
know.
is it the name of the artist?
Yes. Nope. You're not right, Alan. Well, yes, we have a correct answer in the Peanuts. This singer both opens and closes his live album Rust Never Sleeps with a song that coined the phrase, "It's better to burn out than to fade away." Come on, you got to know who it is. This is an easy one now.
I just put it in internal.
Yeah, it is. Well done, all you guys. It's Neil Young. Yep. So there's the rest of the clues. Canadian singer. And it was Neil Young.
I think I spelled it wrong though.
We tend to be fairly lenient on how you spell stuff
Yeah.
as long as it's obvious what you mean.
Yeah. Okay, question 5. This territory was nicknamed the Isle of Devils by Spanish seamen who reported the cries of its native cowbirds sounded like evil spirits.
Okay.
No, Carl Edwards, not Tasmania. We have a
Well,
winner
it
in
said
the
Spanish
internal
seaman,
chat.
so it wouldn't have been Tasmania.
Not Australia.
I remember that one from geometry history years ago.
An attempt to drop off a breeding stock of hogs in this archipelago was failed by Gonzalo Fernandez de Oviedo and this territory's namesake. Not Madagascar. And we do, yes, we do. Irish stew has it, as well as Ozzie in the internal chat. So the correct answer, given the rest of the clues there, was Bermuda. The Bermuda Triangle, Bermuda. Question 6. A Barbara Gowdy work sees one of these animals, named Mud, gain visionary powers while searching for the safe place.
I don't know who Barbara Gowdy is, so I might not be able to.
Okay. A Joe Saramago novel tells how one of these animals, named Suleiman, is given to Archduke Maximilian from King Joao III. Not rabbits, not pigs, not rats.
So we're going to go through all the animals until we get it.
Well, there is a correct answer, but I'm not going to say where it is.
Oh.
Okay. Until I get the correct answer in both chats, I'm not going to say where it is now.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. A British officer recounts how he shot one of these animals in front of Burmese villagers in an Orwell short story. And we do have correct answers in both chats now. So well done, S. Thurston II and Ezzy, for getting the elephant. We'll just go through the rest of the clues there. And the correct answer was an elephant. All right. Oh, what have I done there?
I don't know what happened to that one.
But you get 2 clues at once this
Oh,
time.
cool.
Yeah. Attacks on these entities can be prevented by using a canary value to prevent malicious code from executing. These entities are utilized by calculators that use reverse Polish notation. Anyone still there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're just confused.
I was just wondering if my internet had dropped or not. Everything went silent.
Everyone went quiet on you.
We do have a correct answer. Okay, these entities can be smashed in a type of attack also called a buffer overflow. Come on, internal chat. Come on.
Yeah, I'm getting an idea where it's directed for the answer, but it's just what.
Yeah. In C, statically allocated data is placed in this data structure, whereas dynamic data is placed on the heap.
Hmm.
And yes, we do have from Sheeple the correct answer. Well done to all those in the external chat, in the peanuts that got stack for your answer. Right. Yep.
Yeah,
stack.
Is it some sort of coding in C?
Yeah, it's in C++. I took I did a diploma of IT over a decade ago.
Okay, question 8. Clifford Will and others developed PPN parameters which can be used to compare theories of this force. One theory of this force modifies a pre-existing formalism by adding an interpolating function and introducing the new fundamental constant A0.
I don't mean to brag, but this one was pretty easy.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ozzie. That makes me feel so much better.
Hey, I'm into science. This one was easy for me.
Yeah, I know. I'm into science too.
Yeah. When solving problems on an inclined plane without friction, the force on the object parallel to the ramp surface equals this force times the sine of the inclination angle.
Okay, that sounds familiar.
No, Carl. You get 4 to pick from, and you pick the wrong one. And yes, Carl, you got the right one this time. It is gravity. Yep. Mond modifies a law that says that this force equals a constant times m1 times m2 over the distance squared. That should have given it away to almost everyone.
No, the
And
bit.
what force causes tides and gives weights to objects?
Yeah, when you said the
If you
force on the
didn't get
object
it from
parallel to
that,
the ramp surface,
yeah,
that paragraph there was actually giving me the.
yeah, and
I went into full detail. I said
yeah,
metric theories
and
of gravity.
it gives weights to objects.
Wait a minute, I need to look at the clue a
Right.
bit longer.
Question 9. Ezekiel the dramatist claimed that this creature had red legs and yellow eyes, while Lactantius claimed its eyes were sapphire blue and that it had yellow legs.
Ezra only went to year 10, so to me this is hard.
Okay, second clue. This creature, often depicted surrounded by a nimbus, shares common characteristics with the Arabian anchor and the Chinese feng huang. We have a correct answer.
Okay.
Canto of Dante's Inferno claims that this creature feeds on tears of incense and amomum flowers and wraps itself in a coat of nard and myrrh. This analogue of the Egyptian Bennu is said to travel to Syria to die on a palm tree before bursting into flames.
Shit, now I know which one it is now. I should have copied off Ezra.
I love my mythology.
I can't rub my answer out, sorry.
And yes, Dora, you have got it. It is the Phoenix. There's you got it in the internal chat.
Yeah, the last clue. I should have waited to the last clue.
Yeah. Mythological bird symbolizing renewal, which is repeatedly reborn when it rises from the ashes of its predecessor, is the Phoenix. Last question. A sexy nurse in this film states, "I came to restore your pluck," and promptly has the door shut on her.
Maybe I haven't seen this film.
Yeah, I think you probably have. Not Carry On Nurse, no. Nice guess though, Carl, but no. In this film, a professor discusses the merits of topics like the Smoot-Hawley Act and the Laffer curve during a monotone lecture. Not Barbara Windsor. We have a correct answer and a kind of correct answer.
Okay.
You're on the right track, Dora. You're on the right track, Dora. Do you know the rest of the name?
Yeah, I know somebody who does.
Yeah, I do
How do you copy and paste?
After nearly drowning in an Alan Ruck played character states that the title of the character of this movie is My Hero. Not Carry On Doctor. And yes, Dora, you got it right. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but not Bluer. Bueller.
Yeah, Bueller, yeah.
Beulle.
Oh wait, Ferris blew her. Oh dang.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller's Day Off was the correct answer for this one. Name this 1986 film about the title slacker who faked sickness to hang out with his girlfriend Sloane and best friend Cameron, and it was Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah. And I haven't seen the film, but I know of it.
Oh, haven't you?
No,
Oh,
I know
okay.
of
On
it, but I haven't
Netflix.
seen it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good film. There you go. There's your 10
Thank you,
question
Paul.
quiz.
And your internet didn't drop out for the whole 10 questions.
Yeah.
And now
Oh,
it
that
will
was
drop.
good,
Now
yeah.
it can drop out.
Yeah.
We've been going for 3 hours. I think that'll probably do it for tonight. Yeah, they made a lot of 80s movies like that. Okay.
I did make one more video, Terry.
You
A really
did?
quick one we could finish on.
You
Yeah.
did? Or is it
Yeah,
hiding?
it was a snippet from I just remembered it now. From there was a modern day debate the other day with Nathan Thompson at the end of it, and I sent a super chat in and asked him a question, and I clipped that little piece. It's
Okay.
another 3-minute video. It's quite funny. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, you got a live stream coming up, Blue. I did see that in the notifications. Blue's got a live stream coming up in just under half an hour, I think it is.
Another one. He was on this morning.
Yeah, it's been
Well,
a
my
few.
time this morning.
There's been a few of them.
Yeah.
Ezra, do you know what the Cavendish experiment is?
Cavendish.
Cavendish, yeah. Haven't heard of it?
Dora knew.
I keep holding caps lock to
and
try and talk.
Dora, an electromagnetic wake is something you give to a person who died from electrocution.
Yeah, so Terry, I think the Cavendish experiment was like the very first thing to measure gravity.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, in a roundabout way, yeah.
Yep.
Like I know it's not exactly that, but it's like along that line.
In the side channels over on the Discord, under Hoons and Dags, down the bottom of that, under Blues Cavendish, that's where we've been posting all the results from that experiment. And Blue's done a few videos, which are long, of live streams of it actually happening.
He's done an excellent video on the calculations, like how he did the calculations.
It's well I was going to play that, but
yeah.
Blue said if you want to put everyone to sleep.
Yeah, it's a bit of a serious video, but it's worth watching.
Yeah. Oh, Carl. Just for Gary, Parallax isn't doing him any favours. Oh, okay. Tony's dropped a new video. Hasn't dropped one for a while. So where's this video, Sheepy? We're finishing up on.
I already posted it.
Where?
In any other vids.
Yeah, I got it. Now, I can't give extra context for this, but
You wouldn't need to.
oh, this is your last video, guys. I'll finish up it after this.
Oh, is that a phoenix?
Yeah, yeah, we've done well. We'll leave before Paul has to leave involuntarily.
And Sheeple's Phoenix says, no one in Flat Earth can explain what cast the shadow onto the moon during the recent total lunar eclipse. Can Nathan explain, if not the Earth, then what did cast the shadow onto the moon during the eclipse?
Not only did the alleged shadow change directions mid-eclipse, it came in at 3 o'clock and left at like noon, which happens on almost every single eclipse. Well, you can't predict eclipses on a heliocentric model because they say the redness caused on the moon, because everyone knows shadows are dark, they got to have an explanation for why the moon is glowing red. And you're asking me about the shadow, which is glowing red. Okay, they say the light bends around the Earth and refracts through the atmosphere. We'll have news for you, ladies and gentlemen. The atmosphere changes hour to hour and day to day. You would never be able to predict eclipses months in advance on a heliocentric model. Newsflash, they don't. They use the Soros cycle. You could check out NASA's website. They admit they use the Soros cycle on their website, which was hijacked from Flat Earthers. So I don't need to explain anything about eclipses. You need to explain why you think shadows are red and they can predict eclipses months in advance. That's goofy. That's dumb. And why it changed directions mid-eclipse. Did the Earth change directions in the middle of an eclipse? No.
Next
so
up.
how do you explain that on your model?
Wait, so what caused the shadow on the moon?
I'm not talking to you anymore. This is question and answer, T-Jump. If no one has questions for you, then you got to keep quiet.
Well, but to be fair, that was their original question. They said, what cast the shadow onto the moon during the recent total lunar eclipse? If not the Earth, what did do it? So they're asking, like, do you have an alternative that they're looking for?
Yeah, it's not a shadow. Duh, they hijacked the Soros cycle. NASA admits it's a Soros cycle. You can't predict on the heliocentric model. Yeah,
you reject the shadow altogether, so you don't give an explanation for the shadow because you don't.
The moon. It's not that I reject anything. It's not I reject anything. I've tested the moon. Moonlight is measurably cold. It is its own light source. There are no shadows on the moon.
Gotcha. I was just saying that you don't concede that there was a shadow. I wasn't saying you necessarily reject it.
Yeah, it's not a shadow.
Well, what is it then? If it's not a shadow.
Yeah, it's not a shadow.
Nah, it's not a shadow.
Yeah, it's not a shadow. Yeah, it's not a shadow. Yeah, it's not a shadow. Yeah, it's not a shadow.
Yes, we get
Gotcha.
it.
I was just saying that you don't concede that there was a shadow.
That's not a shadow.
Yeah, it's not a shadow.
Totally.
Crazy, eh?
Oh god.
That
I literally said what it was earlier.
Yeah, that's the type of people we have to deal with. You think
You gotta explain why it turns red.
And they
red.
let these people outdoors for daytime.
I love the bottom middle one, like the thumbnail. Flat Earth proven by sewage.
Yeah, that's Everett Anderson's. Yeah, I was gonna play that one.
Can only imagine what's in that one.
The funny thing is that Flat Earthers make me seem smarter than I am. FTFE, what's that? Fuck Flat Earthers.
How long does? Oh, Craig, two flat. Oh, geez, he's he probably didn't bite off more than he can chew with that one.
No, He wrecked those two, and one of them called Laundry. I keep saying Laundry. Landry Chamberlain called out MC Toon to debate, and then he didn't show up to the debate. He was a no-show.
Be happening more and more often.
Today.
Alright.
What's that?
Said that seems to be happening more and more often now. No shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, over in Sure You Shoot over in Discord, Ezra, you'll find a lot of these videos that we would play. One last vid. Dora wants one last vid. Ah.
All right, Sewerage it
I
is.
I can imagine the peanuts out there bashing on their desk going, one more vid.
Please, sir. Can I have more?
Oh, dear.
Oh, I love that.
So, may I have another?
Water play.
Okay.
I went to see that when I was a kid.
All right, then. Since you asked nicely.
Right now we've got a...
Oh, I forgot something. And Ezra, you're allowed to not have your thumbnail for when you come in here. How many times, Sheepy, is the new rule? You said we changed it this year or something.
Well, I'm going to have to refer to Rule 1, Terry, because I don't know.
Oh, Ezra doesn't know the rules. Oh, okay.
Well. 4 more vids.
4 more vids? Yes, Carl. That's pushing your luck. And Surf. And No Name.
That number that must never be spoken.
Yes, mean? That number, yeah.
How do I even get a picture?
My daughter does ring at inopportune moments sometimes.
Where does this start? Yeah, here we go.
So right now we've got a crane moving a air conditioner onto the top of the building here, the Boardwalk Beach Cafe. I'm at the Cherry Grove Fishing Pier here in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This wouldn't work if we were on a spinning, wobbling water ball hurling through space. In fact, we'd have shit everywhere. That's right, I said it. We'd have shit literally everywhere.
Shit.
Oh no, you said it.
Sewage, water treatment, storm drains, porta potties, toilets, shit would be flying everywhere.
Shit.
So we don't have toilet water flying out on people in Australia because of gravity. I'm exposing the global lie. If you'd like to check out my research library, I've got a lot of mind-blowing content there. If somebody believes they are spinning, wobbling, and gyrating over 1,000 miles an hour, hurling through space at imaginary speeds, they're deceived, and they don't know it. We've got weather modification going on. I've got documents on my channel, documentaries, exposing that. So I encourage everybody to seek the truth with all your heart, because it matters for eternity. How about that? I'm wanting to get the Cybertruck set up for the new Truthmobile, if I can actually secure that.
Shit.
By definition, the horizon is in fact horizontal. No curvature on the horizon. There you go. That means they're lying. They're lying. I ain't buying. Who's they? Well, Satan.
What kind of bullshit is that?
And all those that are deceived about that. Reality exposes the global lie.
Everything that guy just said is bullshit.
We've got aerodynamics, density and buoyancy, density and mass. Heavier things than the atmosphere fall, lighter things float. Birds, bugs, planes fly. Airplanes fly above a stationary level plane.
Bull fucking shit!
Shit.
So hang on, heavier stuff falls, but planes can fly.
Yeah.
I now want to bang my face against my desk again.
Oh, you remember what happened last time?
Yeah. Oh well, never mind.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to change Blue's thing to push your desk out of headbutting range.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Please ensure you cannot bash any part of your body that you like against anything hard.
Yeah. Okay, stop sharing.
It's funny how he's using something that's already been proven to basically make the Earth the globe.
Well, they all
try and prove it's flat.
Yeah. And the strange thing is, a lot of these flurpers seem to know our model better than what we know it. In some cases.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to set a bloody
well, I'm not
picture
floating.
down, let me.
Don't talk.
I don't know how to set a profile picture.
Don't talk at the same time, Sheepy.
I was apologising for talking.
Well, I've already said me good nights to the peanuts out there, so thanks, Alan. Thanks, Paul. You're still here. Thank you. You'll probably drop out when we finish. Thanks, Sheepy, for your videos for the lunar eclipse. And thanks, Ezra, for dropping by. Yes, you will have a thumbnail next time he comes in, Peanuts. He won't get into trouble, because I know what they'll do. They'll cause a riot if they see you naked.
You should be able to change it right now.
Well, yeah, I know you're supposed to be able. You're supposed to be able to get options to do all that while you're in here. Thanks, Carl.
I'm trying to set it to a weird.
What? Sorry.
I'm trying to set it to a weird coughing cat face, but it's not letting me.
A what?
A coughing cat.
A coughing cat.
I'll put it in random. I'll put it in random pics.
Okay.
On Discord.
Haven't you got anything like a sciencey thing? Airplane, a moon. I don't know what Sheepy's got. That's real scary. That one. I'm gonna have nightmares on that one.
That's Greta and John Kerry together. That's known as Jerry.
Okay. Yeah, let's no. We've got no whatever.
I got a picture of Uranus.
Uranus.
Yeah, same deal. I say it that way because it's funnier.
Oh, thanks, Carl. Thanks. Who's that? Gary. Fondle, Spooky, Carl. No name.
Gary.
Surf.
Gary Wybother.
John. I thought his name was Gary
Irish
Wybother. Did he spell it wrong? Carl, Fondle, Surf. No name. Dora. Stewie. Spooky. Fred. I said Fondle, didn't I? Oh, Blue was out there. Yeah, we seen that, Blue. We seen you going live. Who else was out there? Thurston. I can't scroll up. Keep scrolling. Scrolling.
C4.
Who else?
He's probably gone now. C4.
Oh, C4. Oh, yeah, he was here earlier. Ozzie Globehead, I think, was out there. My mum bakes cakes. And Fred. Fred Bailey was
One's
there too.
death.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. If you just want to drop into the Discord for 5 minutes for coffee and cake or whatever. I'll be over there for a little while. And yeah. Oh, well, good night, panel. Good night, Peanuts. We'll see you on Saturday evening. And we'll see what we end up with then. Over and out.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
And hopefully I'll have a picture of Uranus next time.
All right.
Uranus.
Yeah, I said it right this time.